Hello, everyone! Blue Star Saber here with...
I'm Mangareader, guys.
I'm Lucky Rave.
Wait, Lucky Rave? Hold on!
What?
You changed your name, Lucky Chi?
Who's Lucky Chi? I have no
Who's
idea who that
Lucky
is anymore.
Is someone excited for 100-year? Whatever.
Yeah.
Fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone so you've gone so excited for Fairy Tale, you changed your name to Rave.
Yes.
As in Rave.
It's all he posts half the time.
Well, that coupled with Eden
It's like
Zero, that
90% of what Lucky Chi posts these days.
you're right. It also didn't help that Eden Zero was ending too, so you had like everything like factoring it. So I just went, you know what? I was like, okay, the 1,000 milestone hit. I think it's time. Perfect time.
Well, okay. Well, that means I need to now change the description in the box since I said, "Hey, everyone, Blue Star Saber and Lucky Chi here with Mangareader." It's like, damn it. Well,
Hey,
either way.
I mean, it's just like the 4-life situation all over again. He went from 4-life to Sparta 3G.
Ah, yes, yeah. Anyway, well, all right, fine enough. Let's see. So, let's see. Guess I can't call you Chi anymore, so it's going to be Rave. Rave! Okay.
Yes.
But yeah. Anyway, we're not here to discuss Lucky Chi's name. We're here to discuss My Hero Academia, particularly chapters 324 to 327, maybe 326, depending on how long it takes us to review some of the chapters. But basically, the epilogue has begun. We've got class 2A. Let's see, a family visit. And if we do get to that last chapter, let's see, Tomura. But yes.
Interesting.
But yeah. But basically, let's see, the final battle between Midoriya in the war has finally ended. Midoriya has defeated All For One, seemingly possibly maybe at the cost of his quirk. And also, let's see, and we now see how the world rebuilds after the events of the defeat of All For One and the final war between heroes and the League of Villains, if you will. Or the Paranormal Liberation, depending on however you want to name them. But yeah.
Paranormal Liberation Villains. Let's go with that.
Paranormal.
But basically, let's see, instead of like just ending it on the chapters, 1 or 2 chapters straight away, Koei decided to do an epilogue, let's see, mini arc, if you will, or just epilogue to this war arc, depending on how you wish to, let's see, phrase it. But
essentially, what this is going to cover is the final volume. That's what this whole epilogue thing is going to be.
Yeah.
This is just an epilogue.
Did you say that a bit louder, Lucky Chi? Did you say that?
It's an epilogue.
Yeah.
Okay,
an epilogue.
fine. But yeah, he's going to be doing an epilogue, and and it was also announced that the final chapter of My Hero Academia will be 430. So, in a sense, Koei is ending it on a 0 number, but just not, let's see, on the big hundreds 0 number.
Of course, it's 400 plus 30. That's what this is.
Ha ha, Lucky Chi. Ha ha. But yes. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much everything. Let's see, being described. We can now begin with the summary of the chapters and then give our thoughts on what we've heard. The chapter pretty much begins in the United States of Washington State, which, as you get the news lady saying that they've got clear sunny skies across America, and apparently the weather they were anticipating a stormy thing was like totally off the mark. This is her just being in reference to like of course All For One, with the news crew just saying, please Mitzi, please Meryl, no more weird outbursts. But she ends up saying, but hold on to your hats out there, folks. We're expecting some strong winds. Yes, the guts that blew that day. Which, referencing, of course, Midoriya's triumph of the League against All For One. as she talks about in the wake of the giant battle. And then we see I believe the Egyptian hero that was in like the third My Hero Academia movie. I always forget his name.
I mean, he's just there. Let's be real.
What's his name? Hold on, I'm gonna search it up.
What's his name?
That's a good name. What's his name?
Yeah, I'm just I wanted like let's see, list of characters. All right, here we go. Heroes. This one will hopefully let's see, erase. Let's see, vigilante, international heroes. This one, Salomon, I believe his name is. So yeah, we see him here telling people to bring certain bits of the work, and then you've got, I think, the clay teacher from like the school going like that, and then you see a bunch of kids being all excited, walking towards buildings as the news lady kept saying, "Stay tuned for updates and all sorts of effects." With the kids just being excited their house got built, and let's see, a bunch of heroes helping out. Funny enough, I think the little girl has an Endeavor bag on her, which I will admit, I'm surprised that they still have people wearing his merchandise after the.
I mean, look at it this way. There can be some controversial stuff that goes on like IRL. That's not gonna stop people from buying merchandise.
No, number one hero, man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fair enough, but yeah. As let's see, the kids are just amazed how quick it was. Apparently, 1 week has passed, and it's all thanks to let's see, while the restoration efforts had stalled after the Jakku conflict, but it's been picked up at a breakneck pace, and that's due to the fact that the United States and many other nations showed up with outpouring support and resources, which I'm not sure that you'd see that happening today for most countries, to be honest. But yeah.
Well, this is a fantasy setting,
Yeah,
so we'll look past this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a much more brighter looking future compared to the real life world today, unfortunately.
What's real life?
Yeah. But anyway, we then get the hero Big Red Dot. Let's see shouting, but it's seemingly spilling whatever drink he's had in his mouth, saying, as he goes on about seeing that wild fight, we can sit back and do nothing. And then we get some constructions workers saying that the survey bureau lent us the Britsy plans and blueprints, and they can build whatever they want, apparently. Let's see, you see one of the heroes, I think, create a building out projection, and then you see some of Class 1B helping out some heroes. Let's see, as they talk about how the restoration's going smoothly. And we got a cameo, I believe, from Lucky Chi's favorite protagonist. Let's see. Let's see. I forgot what.
It's Koichi, or if you want to go by his hero name, it's Skycrawler. Which it's cool to see. I will say that I was excited to see him, but at the same time, I was like, just one panel though, for real.
Yeah, so cool. In many ways, you've wanted him to play a major role in My Hero Academia for ages.
Like at the very least, since post the Paranormal War. I mean, technically he did show up, so I can't complain about that.
So yeah, I mean, at least he's been referenced, Lucky Chi. At least he's been referenced.
Yeah, well, at least they didn't like brush him off, which was a good thing.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe you'll be Lucky Chi, and after Bones is done with like the anime, they'll do My Hero anime. They'll do the Vigilantes anime. If you're lucky.
That would be something. I mean, let's face it. My Hero is too big now. There's no way they're not gonna do a Vigilante anime. No way.
But yeah, with like the whole everyone helping in. All these projects were taken over a decade, but with everyone helping in and their quirks, things are starting to be rebuilt nicely. And then you've got like, I believe the chicken doctor, if I had to guess, or the bird doctor, telling Bakugo that his arm will never go back to normal. And as he explained prior to the surgery, that's the best I could hope for. And let's see, and he did say that he tried all his best to do, given all the exploits that their son has done. As we see Bakugo in a bandage and casted in a sort of hospital with his parents, listening into what he said. As he says, a lot of great number of bone segments had been joined and set, and that as he's saying he can't really guarantee any amount of rehabilitation will give him back the use of his arms. And saying if he's determined to work as a hero, he could consider a prophetess like Mirako, of course, Bunny Girl. Let's see, you hear her saying that as she went going as we see a flashback of her saying, rehab, screw that, lop it off. As we know that she put on cybernetic parts. But Bakugo says that, nah, forget that, because my quirk comes from my palms. This concerns her mother. Plus, he says even if he never had one, and he said, plus he never even had one. And Bakugo just says, give me that rehab, bring on the pain, the sooner the better. So he seems to have changed his mind. But the doctor says that he is only allowed to do low exercises for now, and that saying that the biggest problem currently for him now is his heart. Going on about how if it wasn't for Edge Shot, he'd be dead, which due to what he did with his quirk to heal his lungs, and he has no idea how he managed to keep fighting in that state. And he's even flabbergasted that he managed to blast his way across several kilometers after that. So let's see, Bakugo's defying logic in order to survive, if you will. And the doctor says that he's been given a second shot at life. So it's just heed his calls and make sure he keeps his prescriptions and bed rest for now. And then we cut to All Might and Midoriya in the ward where they're asking if they're awake, talking about the odds of being set up together. And All Might's friend, the police guy, Tushukachichu, who I can never seem to remember the name of.
Oh, Tsukochi?
Yeah, Takochi. I can never seem to remember his name. And saying that he arranged this just to make it easier to guard us. So with Midoriya then asking how he feels. With All Might saying how they said they never had to use quite so many bolts to cobble someone back together. So it's All Might seems to go through painful surgery pretty much. And then I'm asking how Midoriya's doing. With Midoriya saying that he's finally got some feeling back to his arms, but he talks about how he couldn't really save Tenko's life, and even after reaching into his heart and shattering that hatred. Tenko remained the League of Villains leader to the very end, as we see in the background the flashback of him disappearing and all that stuff. But All Might says, speaking as someone who went through a near-death experience, I want to ask yourself, what was the look on his face in the end? As Midoriya thinks back to about how Shigaraki said it's already been destroyed, and says oh yeah, that depends on what people decide to do tomorrow. With Tomura feeling that Tomura is smiling, saying, make sure you do your damn best to Midoriya. With Midoriya saying, assuming he still didn't look like a crying kid, then did you see it did save him, his soul anyway? And going about how he did his duty to one for all, as we get a collage of all the previous users. Together, so showing that All Might saying that their job has been complete, if you will. With All Might asking Midoriya, saying you passed it on right, felt like it was happening. But Midoriya says, yeah, but you can still feel the modeling inside him. And this is where Bakugo comes in, being shocked. It's Bakugo's mother's going how the hell are you up and about? Shocked at him, but...
See, I thought that was Ashido for a second, but now that I look at it, yeah, it is his mom.
Why would it be Ashido?
She's
always kind of been the one to, talk his shit through, so that's what I thought.
Lucky, are you a Ashido Bakugo shipper?
Not really. I've just noticed that anytime Bakugo says some shit, she's always the one that just says, "What the hell are you doing?"
That's because she likes to mess with him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But yeah, anyway, Midoriya is going like, Kachan, you cave, you. But let's see. But yeah, but then you got the parents just trying to apologize to All Might, saying Bakugo's just worried about him and Midoriya. But see, Bakugo's just saying, shocked about, wait, the Ember, huh? With Bakugo realizing, wait, does that mean you're? But Midoriya's smiling as they think back to like when they both got the All Might card. Bakugo asks, is he quirkless again? But
Yes,
Midoriya says,
Bakugo, that's absolutely right. He's going to work at McDonald's.
you've been watching the My Hero Academia averages, haven't you?
Well, I've been seeing some talented people on Twitter. They've been making some real talented like panels and stuff. I'm like, if that's what happens, well, dang.
Well, I'll just say this: Christian Uraraka is probably the funniest thing ever.
I know, right?
But yeah. But anyway, but Midoriya says, but it never had a quirk in the first place, so you can't be too broken up about it. And he says he couldn't really have transferred it without wanting to. And says, my time with it gave me a glimpse of the most amazing dream. But Bakugo's just thinking to his own arm and thinking back to like when he got mad at Deku for having a quirk. And then Midoriya talking about how he's going to rise even higher than that. Let's see, with Bakugo then thinking about the words, don't you dare let me surpass you, Izuku. And Bakugo starts crying after all this. Midoriya, of course, going like, wah, Kachan! Bakugo saying like, no. I mean, what the hell did I do to you? As he thinks
you did a lot of things.
And goes like about how he thought they would be competing, and he'd be on the one on the heels for the rest of our lives, as he seemed to think that Midoriya was going to be ahead of him. But Midoriya says just to cut out, they're saying it's not really like him, and he says that he's still got the Ember for now, and saying that look, being all banged up must be making you emotionally vulnerable. So yeah, with All Might saying the two of you have grown so strong, saying that you're so different from the day we met, as you see the parents just outside of the room and that. And All Might goes about how Midoriya, when he was like saw him diving into the fray that day, he was already a great hero as far as All Might was concerned. But saying the way he is now, you're encouraging the world to get back on his feet, and now you're a great hero to all of them too. And it goes on to Bakugo about how he made sure that he was still around to say these things. So he says, Bakugo, listen here, saying that the pair of them are great heroes, and he has to say thank you. I do believe in some translations he said, you two are my heroes. So I know, depends on how you prefer to it being said. But yeah. But anyway, we then see Bakugo and Midoriya smiling as the narration says, when I was little, I thought that when the big battle was won, peace would be restored to the world just like that. However, as then we get collages of, I believe, Shoto and appears to be a bunch of clams, maybe? Are those clams?
By the looks of it, I think that is.
And let's see, Uraraka just staring in the glass, and I believe Midoriya holding on to his gut, I think, saying, our tale doesn't end here. It can't. Saying the fight may be over, but until we lead the way to the bright future, as we see Midoriya has now gotten a new haircut, if you will, as the left side of him has been shaven off due to the fact that to just treat some scar wounds from there. As we see Midoriya, Ida, and Denki, and a few others of Class A saying how we've got to go further beyond as they re-enter UA school, and the chapter's title, Epilogue, in the background, ends the chapter. So, guys, what are your overall thoughts of this chapter so far?
All right, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, and that's the look Deku has. More so towards the fandom, because when this chapter came out, the first thing that came to my mind is, y'all can't be this brain dead. Come on. Like, even I know the context behind why his hair is like that.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, people, this is not a new look. This is more of just the effects of like battle damage and being healed from it. Hair's gonna get in the way.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, I'm like, guys, this is not a new permanent look. It's a temporary thing. That's what it is. He's gonna grow it back.
Yep. So yeah, it's only a temporary look. It's like it's gonna come back, and you know it's gonna be it's gonna grow back, and Midori will probably keep it back to normal size. This is not the short haircut thing that you got with Naruto and Ichigo, and hopefully Koei has learned. Sorry, what?
I mean, I was gonna say, granted, Ichigo's look is okay. I didn't hate Ichigo's like short hair look necessarily, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd say, let's see, when it was first appeared in the final chapter, it looked kind of bad. I mean, granted, further updates with particularly the one shot, it looks much better. Yeah. Naruto's haircut is still just plain awful.
Who's Naruto?
Yeah.
You know, never mind. But anyway, but it just goes to show you that there's a reason why most shonen manga have spiky head protagonists. The short hair just doesn't work.
For real.
But yeah, it's not going to be like a. But pretty much it's nothing permanent. But anyway. But the only thing that's going to be more permanent is the scars on his face, which those are not going to disappear. So at the very least, we're going to probably at least see the one under his eye.
I mean, I'll say this: I think the scar is going to make him look more badass. That's for sure.
So anyway, I do like that you got the news lady from the US who was just trying to defy the president's odds of like trying to not kiss up to All for One and just talk about how everything's now bright and sunny now, being the metaphor for like other words, much the better. Other than that, I did like the cameos we had of the movie heroes in the the heroes from the film being in there, as well as the cameo from Vigilante. Though granted, if you haven't read Vigilante, you might not notice that kind of particular cameo.
Yeah. I just saw that one shot. I was like, he's here.
No, maybe if you're lucky, Chi, the World Hero, the My Hero Academia team up manga will actually have him more in the prominent role. We'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, there's still like 3 chapters left technically. He could pop back up again.
Yeah. I think this is the best you're getting, Lucky Chi.
Oh, I know. Hey, I'm coping. Shut up.
Coping.
But at least
cope harder.
But yeah, at least this has acknowledged it, and yes, people, that manga is canon to like My Hero Academia's world. So yeah, it's a nice little cameo, but yeah, but arguably, of course, the restoration thing is a bit utopian in the fact that it's been done so quickly. But then again, I suppose with the world of superheroes, you would expect damages to be repaid quite pretty quickly if people actually focus attention.
I think the funny thing floating around when this chapter released was that the actual villain was Uraraka's parents.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That they paid off the villains so that they could cause property damage, thus their construction job could get loads of money.
Yeah. Who knows? Let's see. Who knows? Maybe let's see. That may actually end up being happening. Granted,
there's only 3.
Granted, not necessarily that them paying off the villains. I mean,
right? But I'm not saying paying off, but
Yeah, but yeah, hiring the villains. But let's see.
The villains attack.
I wouldn't be surprised that, as a result of all this damage, Uraraka parents have got a load of customers that gets them financial people. So that at least probably gives closure to, like, arguably a plot line that Koei seems to completely have skipped or dropped.
We need money.
So anyway, guys, Bakugo's arm injury. How do you feel about it?
Him losing his arm, basically.
Well, see, yeah, him not being able to move the way it would be before. So yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out if he's still got his fingers or if it's just a stub.
I assume he still has the fingers since since he's determined to be a hero. So I assume that and he's talking about how he's still got his palms. So I assume that he still has his hands.
Okay. Well, I guess if he does, it really don't matter right now. We'll figure it out eventually. But I mean, it's not the. I mean, everyone seemed to come away with this not unscathed. Some of them came out a little better than others, but
yeah. Well, granted, I think most people are mainly concerned is the fact you have a kid with a ultra power that can reverse any damage, pretty much.
well, they're not using her, so clearly that's not the case.
Who knows? We'll have to wait and see whether or not that broken horn of hers means that her quirk has been permanently damaged.
Yeah, well, I think it grows back, but we'll see. I guess we'll understand eventually.
But yeah, I suppose this is probably the best that Koei could do without when bringing back Bakugo, even though arguably he should have probably been dead, as the doctor said. But I do like how
death is nothing to you.
But I do like how Bakugo just gets his usual rowdy up self, and the doctor says, behave. And saying that you just get some bed rest, if you will. But yeah. I still have no idea if Ed Shot is actually dead from the result of what he's done to Bakugo, or if he's just barely alive now.
Well, he's inside Bakugo, so yeah, he's probably dead.
Well, I guess we at least have one casualty, I guess. Granted, it's a character most people didn't really care about.
He sacrificed his life. The only one we don't know is Toga.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Well, that's another one that's so far remained a mystery. But yeah. Anyway, other than that, I do like the sort of conversation you have with Midori and All Might talking about about Shigaraki and about whether or not did he actually, with Midoriya wondering if it feels like he didn't really save Shigaraki, but All Might says, as long as you got Shigaraki smiling at the end, I think you, in a sense, saved him. And arguably, in a sense, he did, just not saved him from being full-on Tomura Shigaraki. At least freed him from, All for One's evil grasp. I don't know. How do you feel about it, Lucky Chi? Since you're, the big Tomura Shigaraki fanboy.
What was that?
Lucky Rave.
Hmm.
Tomura Shigaraki. How do you feel about, what All Might and Midoriya said and about his end?
I mean, I liked it. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but I like what was mentioned about it. Especially I mean, okay, the last thing he said to Deku, I mean, he was able to still stay intact with who he was, with his ideals and everything, but still keeping, from his childhood of that sense of wanting to be a hero. I'm just telling Deku, you know what? Just make sure here on out, do what you can,
It's well, the world. Well, I failed and all that stuff, but I destroyed what I could. But yeah, but good luck with your own goals and dreams, Midoriya.
Yeah, it's not like Tomura had any regrets about what he did. He was like, no, I lived my life. I'm content with what I was about to do. I was like, okay. It's been a long time since I've seen a villain just be like, no. not going through this regret process.
I suppose the last one I can think of is maybe Mangareader.
Yeah, that was like over a decade ago too.
Uh-huh.
Crazy.
Yeah, let's see. My Hero Academia is on its 10th year, and it's finally finishing on that result. But yeah.
Better 10 than 15.
Who knows? Let's see. Well, who knows? We might actually do maybe we should actually do a discussion that once My Hero Academia is officially ended. But anyway,
that was gonna give me an idea of sorts. But
let's see. Are we at the let's see? Is the era of long-running manga finally finished? But anyway,
I had a Manga Wars idea, but
okay. But
you're thinking of like something like running around the 700s nowadays.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, but arguably we could also do a Manga Wars. Yeah, but by the way, we still have yet to do that Demon Slayer one you wanted to do, which I might have spoiled.
I'm aware.
So yeah, but anyway, let's see. I do like how All for One mentions that. Let's see, One Fall's duty has been done with all the heroes as well. But yeah, but the thing I'm most likely, but anyway, so what are your guys' thoughts on the revelation that it seems like Midoriya is probably once again going to be quirkless, but he still has the embers of One for All in him?
I mean, I'll say this. I'm still kind of shocked that Koei went in this direction. Not because I didn't see it come, but the fact that he just went there. I'm like, oh, okay. Now, again, do I think this is going to be a permanent thing? I think somehow, some way, he's going to get it back. For what he's doing right now, he's like leading you into thinking that it's permanently gone. But there'll be a way where it resurfaces.
Okay. What about you, Mangareader?
Like which direction they're going for
Deku? Yeah.
For Deku?
Yeah, for Deku, and what was said about this quirk, about him possibly only having the embers of All for One now left in him.
Him only saying the embers?
Yeah.
Yeah. My first, well, obviously, when in the group chat, I have like very little comprehensive understanding as to why he's ending potentially quirkless.
Yeah.
We don't know. Maybe we pull yet another. Maybe it's the Heroes Rising movie all over again.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Where it just says, you know what? We're not leaving. But no, someone actually.
I was gonna say, I do kind of wonder if this is like Koei trying to go back to his original idea of like having Deku try to be a hero without having a quirk. So I wonder if that's what he's doing.
Well, back to my well, okay, Blue, go first.
You go first because because you just.
What did you have to say though? Because
I was just going to say it seems like in that case Midoriya might go what All Might did in his final fight and go with the Iron Man tech suit thing.
With the tech suits, yeah. I mean that's what everyone's been saying.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't even going to be playing off that. Mine was, I mean, if you do the math. The fact that they're only going to be second-year students, Deku's "I'm the greatest hero, the number one hero in all of history" amounted to a year.
You did talk about it in the group chat. When I thought about it, I was just like, no, you're right about that. You are totally correct.
Which is the problem of passage of time in mangas if you're going to be doing school-related year-to-year type crap. That would mean Deku, in under a year, developed a quirk that he had no control over. Obviously, was gifted a quirk, had to train himself to even be able to be passed on that quirk.
Like,
ended up having.
I was gonna say, I think the situation would be much different if, say, this was like end of UA year Deku. If this was like him like in his last year, be like, okay, like I still make the argument case that like post All Might versus All for One, we should have time jumped ahead to year 2. That's just me though.
I was given the ability to be a hero.
Well, that could be a discussion for another day. Should My Hero Academia been
different? Like, you think taking place over a longer passage of time?
Yeah.
But yeah, like a 3-year cycle.
Right.
Arguably, sorry, go on.
Go on, Mangareader.
No, you were going. I didn't say anything.
Okay, but arguably, but yeah, that's like I think you were saying earlier. Due to the nature of storytelling, let's see, even though it was 10 years for us, 1 year for Midoriya, so it's like, let's see, or just it's like titles of like strongest or leaders. Usually, despite the fact that you'd think they'd be holding the title for years, it's actually only at best 1 year or a couple of months or even a few weeks, depending on how the story has been reading it out. So, yeah. Which arguably Midoriya's time is like having this quirk was relatively short, though granted, arguably he went out with a banger, if you will. But
I just don't see how what he's accomplished up to this point would make him the #1 hero.
Well,
I mean, there's already discussion.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose perhaps many people would consider the fact that he defeated the most evil villain of all time as the thing. I guess it really depends on how you define the greatest hero. Is it someone that saved like billions of people, or is it someone that defeats a great evil?
I mean, we'll see as the epilogue goes on, but I'm pretty sure that I don't think Deku defeated all evil with just by defeating one guy that's had control essentially through the underground, if you want to per se say that.
That's what I meant. That's what I was referring to. Yeah, that's what.
Right.
Midoriya beating the great evil.
Underground #1 top villain that controls all. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, again, he beat that guy, but again, we'll see how the epilogue plays out. But I don't think, like I said, I don't think villainy just ends here.
Well, no, and I mean, this series has pretty much made it clear that there would be still, even with like All for One gone, there's still villains, but like the greatest evil that threatened the world has now.
I guess.
So it's like,
but if.
Okay, go on.
You get so mad when we cut you off. It's not like we're trying to not tell you what to say. You can still talk after. Okay. Unless you're really going to lose your plot point. I'm just saying that all I was going to add was that, you're the #1 hero, or when the way that they described it, this is how I became the greatest hero.
Yeah.
Just kind of leaves you thinking, well, okay, this is how Deku became the #1 hero in Japan. And he didn't even become that, basically.
Well,
like he never got the proverbial title, is what I'm saying.
To be honest, we've seen that. The rankings of the official rankings of the hero thing may not necessarily be the best. Which, to be fair, when it comes to most shonen power scaling and rankings, that always ends up being the case. But I think with the way All Might was describing it, with him and Bakugo, it's like as far as the whole world saw him take on the great, like All for One. And arguably, he's now become a hero that inspires everyone. So I think in that regards, while Midoriya never had officially the title of world's #1 hero in Japan, or even the world itself, the world will just generally refer to him as that because of his exploits in defeating All for One, thereby saving the world from his demon lord rule, if you will. So, yeah. But anyway, I think the highlight for me of this chapter is just Bakugo's evolution as a character and his reaction to Midoriya. And how over the possibility that Midoriya might be quirkless again.
We'll just have to sit there and wait to see, because again, if it ends that way, it ends that way, and that's the story Koei wanted to tell. But
Yep.
I feel like it's a little hollow if it were to end that way.
Okay, that's
just my thought on that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, how do you feel on that, Lucky Chi? Do you think if it ends that way, do you think it'll be hollow, or do you think it's like fitting?
I mean, symbolically, thematically, I can kind of understand. Like, you start the story quirkless, you end the story quirkless. I get that, but when you think of Deku's journey, it is kind of like, really? That's what we're going for? That's where I would say on it. It's like symbolically, thematically, like, yeah, I get it. You started one way, you bring it back full circle with the ending, but at the same tone, you look at like Deku and his journey. It's like really, like his dreams and his like hopes and dreams in it like ends all in 1 year. I don't know. Just doesn't feel quite right.
Let's see. We got a comment from let's see, from Spacey saying, "All right, this chat is sure is empty." Arguably, yes, mostly because let's see, not many people are currently watching it. Though, if more people tune in, hopefully there will be some comments here, and of course we will comment on the whole chat situation here. But yeah, but anyway, whereas I was just let's see, but okay, but yeah. To be fair, in a sense, I guess you could argue if Midoriya does end up quirkless, in a sense, you could argue it's make it sort of like a bittersweet ending. And let's see, saying, so am I a fan of Izuku becoming quirk? So am I a fan of Izuku becoming quirkless? So are you trying to say that you're the only one that's a fan of Izuku becoming quirkless, Space? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'll say this. I'm not against the idea of him being quirkless. It just depends on what you do with it, is my thing.
Yeah, it's very possible that, well, given the fact that Midoriya is still currently at UA, it seems he's still aiming to be some sort of hero, or at least doing something in the hero world of business.
Well, and
I'm not sure yet.
And keep this in mind too. Koei's original idea of Deku was to have him be quirkless, but make him more gadget based. So that does make me wonder if he's, like revisiting that idea with the situation he's in. And that's what he's going for. Again, it depends on execution.
Yeah.
But
Let's see, who knows? We'll have to wait and see in the epilogue, or if he does a movie that eventually shows Midoriya as a full-grown hero, being like Batman, if you will, or Iron Man. But yeah. But anyway, Space has just cleared up his comment saying, "I'm a fan of Zuko, and to me, him becoming quirkless seems very fitting." Fair enough. Oh, him becoming quirkless, I mean. So there we go. We've got Itzy's comment there. So arguably, with a bunch of viewers, let's see, it seems that there are some that are willing to accept him being quirkless. I mean, for me, him being quirkless, I'm not sure. On one hand, part of me feels like, let's see, since he's still got the embers of 1-4, it makes me think, okay, it's very possible that he might at the very least still has some basic form of super strength. I mean, it could possibly those embers just stay on and become some sort of like new, more smaller, weaker version of the 1-4 quirk, where it's not power that stockpiles over time, but at the very least gives Midoriya at least the basic forms of strength.
Yeah.
Just a classic thing, yeah.
So arguably, he still has to be a hero with super strength, but just not with like probably the level that 1-4 had, or maybe even All Might's level. Who knows? But we'll have to wait and see on that regards. Yeah. But if Midoriya becomes a tech hero, I think it's going to be considered perhaps maybe a bit more possible now, since like you saw what happened with All Might. Though granted, yes, All Might technically sort of lost that final fight against, let's see, 1-4, but it still may end up what happening. Okay, we got another comment here saying, "I'm very much a fan of what Hirokoshi is doing with the league, with it ending up so far." Yeah, fair enough. We're going to get to that in a bit, but yeah, we're just wrapping up the bits of thoughts with like Midoriya with this chapter. But yeah, anyway, But like I said, I really do like Bakugo's sort of character evolution of like how we used to see how angry I used to got to Midoriya, even mad that he had like a quirk when he was like quirkless all this time. But now it's like Midoriya's now seemingly losing this quirk, and it means he's no longer going to have that rival to compete with. And in some ways, it seems like Bakugo seems to acknowledge that Midoriya has probably already a step ahead of him now, as he figures like, in some ways figured he's going to be like, you're going to be the All Might, I'm going to be the Endeavor, if you will. Who knows? I mean, what do you think of that? Do you think that's the case with that, or I don't know? What are your thoughts on all that?
Well, I mean, I'll say this right now. With how the fandom has been right now, I'll say this: if you guys thought AOT's whole split debate was a disaster, I think this one might be right up there when it comes to like fandom debates. Right up there.
Yeah, it seems we're never going to find a shonen manga that does not split the fandom in half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, in terms of so far, I'd say this one, at least in terms of Naruto Attack on Titan, I'd say this one to me is the least offensive.
Well, it hasn't delved into its love triangle yet.
It never really had a love triangle. But
No.
Well, so, depending on who you ask, there was a love triangle.
Oh.
Yeah, if there are people referring to Midoriya and Uraraka, or Uraraka and Bakugo, or Midoriya and Bakugo, yeah, I'm pretty certain that Uraraka and Bakugo is pretty much non-existent, and I'm pretty certain Midoriya and Bakugo is just that the rivals becoming best friends, and the way they are smiling together, and that's just the case at the end, as All Might talks about how they've both become great heroes. So I do like how he's acknowledged that and thanking Bakugo for saving his life.
I'll say, I think the one universal good shonen manga ending I can think of, probably Assassination Classroom. That's like the only one I can think of at the top.
What about Fullmetal Alchemist?
Huh? Well, I'm talking about recent.
Oh, recent. Oh, yeah. Fair enough. But yeah. Anyway, Spacing, people are very mixed on the ending so far. Yeah, a lot of people hate the ending for the League so far. Fair enough. But yeah. Other than that, let's see. The only really thing I'm confused about in this chapter is this one panel that appears to be clams. I have no idea what that's about. I don't know what that's referencing. Or is that maybe
that might be from oh my god. That might be a little tease from like Dobby's injuries or whatnot. It could just be that.
But yeah, I mean, at the very least, you've got a chat. We've got Shoto and Uraraka paneling quickly in this chapter so far, so it implies that something's going to happen with those two down the line. Well, granted, they'll be in the next few chapters, but which we will do in a second. But I think we've pretty much covered everything here. So overall, how would you score this chapter from a 1 out of 10?
Okay, I'll go first. So for me,
Space says that I think that's meant to be Spinner. Okay, fair enough.
I can do that. So for me, I'll give it a grade. Even with some like what this chapter had and what it showcased, I think it's great.
So that's pretty much. Mm-hmm. Or is that Amazing's 9, isn't it?
No. Okay, so yeah, Amazing would be a 9, Perfection would be 10, and Great would be like an 8.
Okay. How about you, Mangareader?
My thoughts, huh?
Yeah. So how do you score it?
Get the cameras rolling.
Nah, 8's probably right. 8 out of 10. It's not. I mean, it's kind of just been. I don't know. I think we gave 7s to basically everything the last time. So this is at least a somewhat step up, but.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the epilogue. I mean, there's only so much you can really do towards the end.
And I mean,
basically like trying to tie all loose ends.
Yeah, I was gonna say when it comes to like aftermaths of like the arcs, Koei's usually pretty good with those. Usually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, I suppose I will probably also give it an 8 out of 10, just to follow the trend, I guess. Let's see. Though, granted, I was probably going to do that anyway. I mean, you could argue that it's a bit convenient that everything's been rebuilt so far, but I think, like I said, it's a superhero world society.
I mean, look at the Pain arc. You had Yamato like rebuilding the whole village,
or at least partially done before he was kidnapped.
Still happened.
But yeah. Let's see. You got Bakugo with his like consequences of his fighting. Midoriya. Well, granted, the only thing is like it depends how you feel about Midoriya possibly only having the embers of the quirk and how that ends up being in the end. We'll still have to wait and see how the UA second year's going down. But I do like the talk he had with All Might about how Shigaraki was arguably saved in the end, but he was still himself as a villain, if you will. And Bakugo's like reaction, seemingly full-on complete character development of like how he feels about Midoriya. At this point, I'd say it's safe to say that Midoriya and Bakugo have become best friends again. If that's or best friends at this point. Or
Feast for life.
And
yep.
The only thing you could arguably complain about is if you don't like Midoriya's hairstyle, but like Lucky She said at the beginning of this chapter review, that is just basically it's a temporary thing, so it's like don't panic. Anyway, now that that's been covered with, we can now finally go on to chapter, let's see, 4 to 5. Let's see, now this one I can actually get to the actual Viz thing because 424 was, let's see, no longer there. But like I said, people, try and support the official translations as you can. Luckily, I know a manga site that usually uploads them after about a week. But anyway,
starting with Deku's ugly ass haircut.
Oh, man.
Anyway, chapter 425, Unseasonable. And as we hear a bunch of chattering, thumping, and celebration, we hear a speech saying, and now it's time to issue diplomas. Congratulations! Come on up! And we see Principal Nezumu in... it's Principal Nezumu, right? I did pronounce that correctly, right?
Yes.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, but Principal Nezumu in apparently the smartest suit that we've ever seen him in, congratulating students for making for a good fight. As we see one of the big three, let's see, the Food Eater one, Sun Eater, receive his award, but he's just going like potatoes. They're all just potatoes, arguably being very nervous with like the crowd behind him, if you will. And then we got, I believe, Nero being all like excited, saying, I graduated! How about that? And of course, all the boys going, no! We hate to lose you, Nitro Senpai! So yeah, pretty much all the boys are upset that they're going to lose their most beautiful girl in school, apparently. So that has happened, and then you got President Mike being, of course, being a DJ and being a podcaster, being, President Mike. Think about saying sorry to your graduation got delayed, kids, as he's playing a Cherry Blossom song, saying about playing a send off, even though the Cherry Blossoms have already fell. So it's like he's going like, let's make some noise, peeps. And we get a full map of a map of everyone being like where you get all the graduates saying they're used to this. Let's see, with like people just thinking like this groove doesn't fit in their background, and the new third years or former second years starting to get used to President Mike, and then the new second years and for first years being taken aback by President Mike's sort of thing. So it's sort of saying the sort of tradition of a UA graduation of how people react to President Mike. As then we get the narration of Midori saying, our senpai who was in limbo for a while, got to graduate in June. So it's like, which is arguably more normal in the UK and US, I think, depending on what school year you're in. But in Japan, we know that they graduate in, like, I believe, March. So arguably, My Hero Academia is really going the US route, or Western route, if you will, in terms of school graduations. But you've got Sarah going like, "Well, the heck, I thought we'd all be crying, but you just got everyone being happy." With someone even, I think, Red Riot saying, "This is like a festival."
Yep.
Students asking if they're feeling those injuries, and you get Nezuko and her fangirl hugging her, and she's happy and all that stuff. When she's just saying, yeah, but she's still feeling on the top of world somehow. With Sunita saying, they've got Miro to thank for that, since he's been watching over them, and even in that flying tomb for the count. So it's like talking about how Miro helped them out in that fight. And then we get a narration saying about requests to foreign countries for essential resources and provisions, and budgeting and funding for like all those plans and all the aid stuff. And apparently this was all made possible by the behind scenes of the principal, whose influence still seems to amaze everyone. As it's in some ways, I'm surprised that this guy is not a politician. Somehow he's a vice principal, and yet somehow he has more influence than politicians. It's like,
always with the politics.
Oh, come on. Let's see.
Oh no!
Every time.
See, don't bring that up. But anyway, but come on, you have to admit, this seems like stuff that you would expect a politician to do. At the very least, a prime minister trying to organize, or a president, depending on your democratic state of your country.
It's not a Blue Star stream if he ain't talking about politics at least once.
Okay, moving on.
Take a shot every time Blue Star starts talking. Okay.
Anyway, let's see. Going back a little bit of the flashback about how like his influence made him global renown, as it narrates about how all along our principal was looking toward what would come after the battle. As we see him in the flashback talking to, I believe, what appears to be world leaders. Let's see. Then we got President Mike saying there were some sick lyrics, a sick farewell address, saying, "Put up your hands for Murata Funa, your upperclassman rep," which I believe is now the second year, now becoming a third year, I believe, if I'm reading that correctly. And he's going like, "And now here to clap back is the rep for the graduating class." Or maybe, and you get the members of Class B, particularly the girls, going like, "Is this like a rap battle or something?" Let's see, you get, I believe, let's see, which I'm trying to remember her name. What's like the, representative of Class 1B again? Let's see,
Kendo?
Mindo, is it?
Kendo.
Oh, Kendo, yeah. She thinks it's bizarre. Let's see, and the shady dude from the one with the darkness from Class 1B saying, "Just drop some bars." As President Mike says, "Give it up for Miro Toga, aka Luminium." And let's see, you've got Luminium then starting to say thanks everyone for the bottom of his heart, and thanking everyone for coming to their attendance. Everyone's just more surprised, and I think they're all falling on their face, if you will, about saying, "What? No stupid gags." Surprised that he's taking this very seriously, as he ends saying how they've lost so much and gained nothing at all. But the fact that heroes fight to bring a negative situation back to square one. Talking about the general studies, the support course, and business courses, and how each of them an experience gained at this institution to come to help the good fight. Arguably bringing up like what happened with how they also played a part in the war itself. Heck, the latest episode of My Hero Academia that came out, which it actually reminded me when you had like business students recording everything, support students keeping like the UA school building afloat. So you got all that stuff. As you got like his upperclassmen, including the other members of the Big Three, listening on in the speech. I feel like it looks like he's trying not to hold back tears. Saying, but however, they're still not yet back to square one yet. And they're saying that the 3 years they spent here will be put towards that purpose. as you see many of the other students, and eventually Midoriya, saying today was not the goal, and going like saying a world without smiles and humor has no bright future, and he seeks to have a positive world where everyone can cheer, and he says let's finish that line racing towards, and everyone is being like whoa Toga, just amazed by the serious speech, and then Toga does a finger snap and thinking about how Night Air should check him out, as he's saying, today marks the start of that journey for us. So you've got, so all who've yet to graduate goes and like peace out, jumping as that beauty pageant tank crashes through, not with the actual contestant there, because she's actually cheering on, and everyone is just celebrating, laughing at, let's see, Luminium's joke, saying apparently this was more or less traditional for UA graduation. So let's see, just pretty much all this weird stuff is just normal for the school. And then we get a Class 2A temporary building, and Azara is still revealed to be like the homeroom teacher for Class 1A, now Class 2A, since this would normally not really happen, but due to the circumstances, apparently they're stuck with him for 1 year, but Class 1A is just, well, now Class 2A is just exactly happy about this. With Ashido, I think, particularly being happy. With Suyu saying, you're crying. Saying how they wouldn't want anyone else. But Bakugo's talked about how the dust has settled about all this. Ooh, we've got a new comment from T.S. Robin saying, hey there, I'm new. Hello, T.S. Robin.
Hey, Robin.
What up?
If you have any comments in the chapter, feel free to comment. Or any questions you have for the chat. Anyway, let's see. You get Sarah commenting about how Bakugo should probably be in the hospital. And then let's see, him saying, they said I just gotta take it easy, and it'd be wrong for him not to be here anyway. But everyone's been surprised how sensible Bakugo's being. And let's see, he goes like, take that back, and it's like, and everyone is just like teasing him out, hey, you need to take it easy, remember? Let's see. But anyway, Arizona says, ahem, trying to critically calm down the students, and they're going like, sorry. And Aizawa tells one person to come in, and that's none other than Can't Stop Twerkling, or Ayama, saying that once more I say adieu, and saying he is leaving UA, which upset some of the students of Class A, with Jinro asking, you still have no change of heart, huh? And Red Rider saying, come on, dude. You can't just split everyone up. See, now that All for One is gone. Let's see. They could have done it without. They could have done it. They could have stopped, like, the bad guys without him, pretty much. But he says, let's see, even though, and Ayama goes like, even though, let's see, both his teachers and the detective said they may stay enrolled, but he feels like he's not really set matters right, and that he still played a part in All for One scheme, so it says he's not be deserving of graduation like the one who attends. But he talks about how he would still atone and walk to the path of hero. That sits well with him. And leaving like a cheese in Midoriya's mouth, saying, after all, once I've reached out to you all and you took my hands, Midoriya just says, yeah, thinking back to what you said. And says he promises them someday that he'll be worthy of standing beside them with his head held high, being a hero. As Aizawa just remembers what he said to Midoriya. Ooh, Space says, I like that Ayamona is atoning, yeah. And Robin saying TS means time skip Robin. Okay, fair enough. We could probably tell because of the
I had a feeling.
Avatar, but yeah.
As soon as I saw TS, I was like, time skip it.
Yeah, but so that's fair. But I hope you keep the questions to My Hero Academia rather than One Piece for this one. But yeah, probably like I do like what Space is saying here. But yeah, so I do like how Aizawa's just smiling at Ayama, and then the class is like just busy and going like, "Dang Ayama, you're a dude among dudes." And then you've got Ayama can't helping but saying, "Do not cry, my friends." Let's see, as he starts splashing his lights around, everyone's being blinded, and saying, comments it's even tighter control than the school festival. And it says like, and Aizawa says, on that note, there is a surprise, and they say that they have a new member of Class A, and it's of course Shinso, who is finally transferred to like the hero course.
I mean, we all had a feeling this was gonna come up eventually. It's not too big of a surprise.
Yeah.
Woo!
Let's see. I think the only question was, would he be in Class 1? Let's see, Class A or Class B? No, I think most people.
I think it was pretty obvious it's gonna be Class A.
Fair enough. I think most people probably thought that, but I wouldn't be surprised if some thought maybe Class B.
Yeah.
But let's see. But this does arguably explain now the numbering of like thing, because everyone was wondering, would Class A would have 21 students or would they have 20? Well, they have 20. But yeah, they're all getting excited that he's joining their class. They're all ganging up on him, excited that the transfer worked out, and even ask if he got like his professional license and everything. But Ayama's feeling jealous that Shinso's stealing his spotlight. Let's see, trying to say, may we discuss my farewell party? And it's like, and he keeps shining his light brightly, and it's like, Ayama, stop it, cut it out. And this is where we see Mineta take notice of Invisible Girl, or
Hagakura.
Sorry, what?
Hagakura.
Yeah, Hagakura starts phasing in front of her and everything like, my quirk's bugging out again, saying everyone's going to see me, so she's apparently embarrassed about that. And then everyone's going like, oh, an actual face, what a cutie.
I mean, she does look pretty. I'll give her that.
Yeah, and let's see, she's quite embarrassed about it. And but you get Mineta going like, all this time, a goddess among us.
You know exactly what he was thinking in his head. We're not surprised.
Yeah. And it's no surprise. And it seems like Aizawa is thinking the same thing, as he just pretty much immediately wraps his bandages around him before he does anything inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
So
also, Pua shows up.
So it's pretty much that. And let's see. With that saying, I was saying there's no more business to go over. So it's now have let's see, Muwata Fua, the former Dritzy 2A student, now a member of like the third year hero course.
Yeah, she hasn't had like a big role in the story, but she's like appeared every now and then. So
yeah,
that's cool seeing her.
Pretty much a cameo, with her biggest role cameo being about how revealing that while Aizawa expels students, he always allows them to come in, as that's like a temporary death thing, giving the students their sort of temporary hero death, if you will.
Yep.
But she ends up now revealing to the second year, telling the news 2A students that second years and third years will be usually joining in the Greater Resurrection effort for the time being, and that she's in charge of organizing everyone. So she's pretty much in charge. Space says Fura is like the bigger Aizawa fan in the story.
Agreed. That she is.
The one student that's a fan of the teacher. But anyway, never mind. But anyway, as she tells about how, in addition to the ongoing restoration projects, saying they'll all be involved with the nationwide effort to maintain law and order, as all the students are listening, saying how they first made it past All Might's retirement and then the war in Jakku, and now that after the big battle that winds up in the textbooks, saying there's sure to be a period of chaos that the books don't talk about. Let's see, but Shota's saying, like, when there's no symbol, all for one was born during that chaos, so hinting of the possibility of another big villain on the rise. With her saying this, ask with the teacher, student, let's see, the third year student, Tawa, saying, does that cover everything? It's the Ira Sensei, and he says, like, yes. And this shocks Tail Man, which is like, Ira Sensei? As she says, she used to be in Ira Sensei's class herself, but he didn't take. And she ends up asking, "I take it he didn't expel all of you?" saying that she's lucky she's jealous. As she tells us, she gave us pampered kids a taste of death, so to speak. Scary stuff. As Sarah says, thank you, Fura. You can go now. Let's see, as she says, but you have to thank him for making us realize why we should be heroes. And
she's funny. I'll give her that. She's pretty
Azar going like, you're welcome. In many ways, I feel like Azar was just trying to get her to go before she reveals too much. And I think that might
honestly, I would not mind a spinoff just focused on her because her personality is amusing.
I guess, but I think she's like such a minor character. Like at best, you're gonna get like a one shot.
Oh yeah, I know.
We've got this I love cats going like ah ha 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 ha, and you've got Space going like the new era. Anyway. Midoriya's just staring on, looking on seriously about everything. As you have now got members of the class when they're talking about the new first years, wondering what they can imagine. And they think like, you know what, we're going to be senpais, everyone. Oh, Space is let's see. All right, Space is saying, this is the start of a new era. Okay, fair enough.
We're talking about like manga's ending. Yeah, we're in the same place we were 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's saying with them some of them saying it's all happening too fast. Let's see, all being busy, particularly Ida saying that. Let's see. And Sarah saying we at least got our moments of rest, so to speak. With Uraraka saying, hey, lay off me already, Shiro, Shis. Do you know what he's referring to, out of curiosity? I can't recall what he's talking about.
Talking about the moments to rest is what he's...
Oh, are you talking about that speech moment, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is, sorry. Let's see. I was saying, don't be that way. And let's see, going like, nah, I thought her speech was awesome. And Midoriya tries to start asking Uraraka, but she's going like, you too, Deku? But she ends up asking, so they had to give you in half undercut because of your wounds. She says, I sure hope it grows back soon. So it's Uraraka.
She's basically saying, that hair is so trashy. I don't think I can talk with you right now.
Like,
well, ladies
you're
and
bald
gentlemen.
on half side.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's official. G rejected Deku. How sad.
No, I don't think that. No, I think Lucky Chi's saying, if you're going to be my boyfriend, you better grow your hair back.
Basically.
Oh, man.
Let's see. And then you got like Sugar Man saying, speaking of makeovers, asking Tokuyami, but he's just pretty much saying, it's not a fashion statement. No, I don't hate it. So it seems like whatever happened to him, which I assume is the after effects of his battle. Mm-hmm. But Spaces is saying this just proves that Hirokoshi knows what he's doing. Fair enough.
I mean, according to him, he's had this ending in mind since the beginning. So
yeah,
I'm curious.
But it seems like Tokuyami has got a new look as well, and and he seems like he doesn't necessarily hate it. Now, whether or not he's going to keep it, who knows? But you got Uraraka smiling, but Midoriya is staring on, and then we cut to this puffing sound with some two pointy ears, and this dude with long hair crying. As we cut to as we see him just crawling from the darkness, if you will, bandage wounds and all that stuff. And I have no idea who this is, but he's walking in the ruins. But I'm
gonna call him Feet.
Okay, but
that'll be my name for him. He'll be Feet.
But I am curious to see what the fandom is speculating on this guy. Some think, Space says this is a new villain. I should call him Crying Man. Fans can't accept that this is a new villain. So, So people seem to think that this is possibly the new villain that the heroes will now have to deal with. But anyway.
I think the one I saw was Moonfish.
Some think it's
Moonfish.
Too. Okay.
Moonfish. I've seen a lot of weird ones saying that what if Shigaraki never went out? And I'm thinking, nah, I think he's gone, guys.
It's Shigaraki's reincarnation.
But either way, we've got a hint of the next.
I mean, Koei is the fan of Naruto, so who knows?
Let's see, fans are cope that Cryman is Tenko or Toga. Yeah, no, I'm pretty certain the next chapter pretty much debunks that. So yeah, we've got that bit debunked, but yeah. But anyway, and Midoriya asks if you think you'll make it to the farewell part of Todoroki. It says, sure, as long as it's not today. But anyway, Midoriya starts to ask him, but Shota says he's really good. As he talks about here he goes, as we then cut to the panel at the end, we see Endeavor in a wheelchair, seemingly at the hospital where what appears to remain of like his firstborn son, Tenko.
Tenko?
I mean Toya. Toya. Tabby. Ending the chapter. So, guys, what are your overall thoughts on this one?
I like the cliffhanger. I like the fun interactions.
Oh yeah. Let's see. It's nice to get the graduation of class 3 and all that stuff. I think arguably, comment here saying 245 is an 8 out of 10 for me. Okay, we're getting to the scores quickly, it seems. But
well, shit.
I could see that. 8 out of 10 kind of worked for this one.
But yeah. But anyway, where was I? Ah, yes, the graduations. So in many ways, I do feel like the fact that we had to see the third years graduate. I think this is arguably the reason why My Hero Academia never really had a time skip like you would have probably wanted, Lucky Chi. But yeah. But at the very least, it is nice to see them graduate.
Although I do think this would have been cool if they like you still have like this scene, but you have like the 1A students graduating. That would have been something.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But at the very least, it's nice seeing these ones graduate. Let's see. Let's see. And it's what you expect for each 3 of them. Sunny to being all nervous, doesn't want to really do in front of this. Nejiro being happy, but all the guys are like, no! Why are you going? It's like, arguably, like the prettiest and popular girl in the school is now leaving.
In modern terms, people, they're simps. Let's just say that.
Simps.
Uh-huh. So yeah, we're seeing the simps crying. It's so funny. And I think among them is one of the ones that was like not exactly a fan of Class 1A until after the music festival.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that. And but the most surprising one was Lumenium, who started off with a serious speech and not starting with a gag first. Which
I think it's nice. Kind of shows his growth a little bit while still maintaining him being in character. So
yeah, I did think it was an inspiring speech about how they all need to move forward, even though we just hoping getting close to the reset 0 thing. Let's see. So Space is saying, so fans are thinking if this chapter means that society will keep away the problems like they once did. Okay, so apparently fans.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I mean, arguably, arguably society will still have villains, as we see, but arguably, I would say there'll hopefully be some room of progress to be rebuilt after everything that's happened. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see on that part. But yeah. But other than that, I do like how the speech the Million gives is rather serious. And it sort of inspires everyone. And then he does his like little joke there. But yeah, President Mike is just hilarious in this bit. And I do like seeing how you get like a description of like how all the students have pretty much either gotten used to this by that, starting to get too used to this, or just completely taken aback by it.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty much a UA tradition at this point. So long as like President Mike is his teacher in the school.
Pretty much.
Anyway, let's see. Nezu continues to be such a huge influencer. So arguably, who knows? If he wasn't a teacher, I'd probably say if he wasn't a school principal, I'd say he'd be running for prime minister.
Again. Okay. Time for
Oh,
the
jeez.
Let's see. Okay, last time I'm making that comment, so shut up, you two.
Ugh.
Oh, and
Guys,
Space
if
said,
anything happens to me, blame Blue. I
Uh.
got my third shot ready.
Yeah.
Anyway, Space is saying, like I said before, I like that Aoyama is atoning for his sins. I like that people like Endeavor and Aoyama are willing to atone for their many sins. We'll get that into a second, but yeah. But let's see. So yeah, besides that, I suppose actually probably is now the best time to get into like let's see, class 2A. We've got Ayazawa being the teacher still. I do like that. I mean, it's kind of like the Kakashi is still being like the Kakashi of like our main protagonists, if you will, or the Kakashi-like figure, if you will. I don't know. How do you feel about Aizawa still being 2A? Let's see, class 1A now 2A's teacher, Lucky Chi?
It's fitting. I have no complaints about that.
Yeah, granted, though I doubt they'll be lucky and get him for like a third year, but who knows? But yeah.
Oh, you never know. Maybe somehow like there'll be words. There's going to be requests being like, please, we need Aizawa, and Aizawa will be like, you know what? I've gotten used to them. I don't mind being the third year teacher.
But anyway, he does seem to normally end up being like the first years since he seems to like expel them all, then bring them back in.
Mm-hmm.
Bakugo is still hilarious when everyone's making fun about him being here or not. But then we can now finally get to what Space is about, Aoyama atoning. So yeah, Aoyama leaving UA. Are you surprised by this or did you expect this in the end?
I saw it coming.
Yeah, I did wonder whether or not he would stay on or let's see, or decide to leave the school. But
I mean, like when you consider like everything that he went through and like the revelations with the UA Trader arc, it makes sense that he would end up with where he's at.
Yeah, he feels unworthy to, even though like he's been forgiven by everyone, he still feels a bit unworthy to accept that forgiveness, and he now wants to try and make the best effort he can to atone for it.
Yes.
So, in a sense, he's seeking the path of redemption, and it's going to be a long journey, but he hopes to one day be with everyone again. And I do like he gives Midoriya one last piece of cheese. but yeah. Now, I will admit, it's I suppose
giving all the yaoi shippers all the fuel they need.
I'm pretty certain that it's pretty much Midoriya and Bakugo that are the yaoi shippers.
You'll be surprised of the minority of people that go for Deku and Aoya.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take your word for it. But yeah, but I do like how everyone in class is just like missing him and we're gonna miss him and all that. But yeah, now granted, I will admit, if he do, I always figured that if he didn't die, if he was still alive, I figured the way he would have atoned was to sacrifice himself in a hero's death during the war arc. But of course, that didn't happen. But I'd say that this is probably the next best thing to do in terms of that.
We had a war arc?
Oh, you.
Lucky Chi, you never lucky Rave, you never change. Anyway, Space is saying, so wait, how is Aoyama planning to become a hero in the future? I assume there's some other hero courses he could take, or maybe some other hero program that he can take part in.
Probably goes to a different school. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Not like they said that UA isn't the only hero school. It's just considered the best hero school.
Yeah. And I guess there might also be that Hero Association's programming where they select certain heroes to do jobs that they require for those types of heroes. But we have to wait and see on that end. But anyway, so there's that. But anyway, Shinsho, let's see. Anyway, but I do like how Shinsho has showed up, and let's see, that just got everyone excited that he's joining. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I'm very curious to see how Shinsho will now interact with Midoriya, even though we only have like a few chapters left, and he does chapters left, and whether or not if we see him respond to the fact that Midoriya was originally quirkless, and his quirk is now starting to have the embers away. I'm curious if we'll at least see at least one little conversation on that, but let's see, that might be not the case. But other than that, I do like how Oyama just gets jealous. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Jealous. What?
Let's see. Like,
I know what you're talking about. The fact that his Shinso is coming in now.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks that it's towards the tail end. We never really got to see Shinso at his best.
Arguably, that is probably true, though. Granted, if we're lucky, maybe if we got like Lucky Chi said, a second year, third year saga, we might have actually gone to see it.
Yeah.
I think what did he do? Just convince. What did he do for this particular? I'm trying to remember.
He appeared in a sports festival, impressed many heroes.
I know that.
Yet Aizawa then took him under his own personal wing and to help him prepare for to possibly become a student next year.
Well, I know all that, but what I meant was what was his key contribute during the? Because I know he did something during.
He used his quirk to control Ayama's parents to lure out One for All, and then
was that it? No, you said there was one more thing.
And he also used his quirk to take control of Gigamakia for a bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. I don't know why I forgot about that. What the heck happened to Gigamakia? Or however the hell you announced that.
Yeah, I wish I knew.
He turned on All for One.
Well, I know what happened, Blue. I'm just saying, I don't know. Was it ever confirmed that blast killed him, or was he just heavily injured? We don't know that right now.
Yeah, that's
all I'm saying.
I know. We might get we might get an answer in the following chapters, but for the moment,
we have no idea.
No. Yeah. It could be possible that it'll be used for maybe a future arc. If he's alive, I assume he'll be used for some next big whatever My Hero Academia project, as we need a superpowered villain, and he'd be quite good. And Space says, I have a feeling Gigamakia is dead. Let's see. It's very possible, but yeah. Until we get confirmation, or if we don't see his body, at the moment, his fate is unknown. So we do have that. But anyway, I just want to go back to his previous comment about how I love that I'm seeing more of Tora or Invisible Girl's real appearance. So yeah, it is nice that everyone in Class A has pretty much now got to see what he looks like. And interestingly, she's embarrassed by it because, well, she doesn't have to probably being invisible her whole life. She never had to really worry about it. But yeah, but Mineta's reaction is what we expected. It was funny. But it's probably the last time we'll see him being manhandled that way, from being to not showing restraint. But I wouldn't be surprised if throughout the second year you get Mineta trying to oogle Invisible Girl for a while. But whether or not we'll actually see Invisible Girl's look anymore, who knows? I mean, with Ayama leaving, there's not really someone to give that light sense of in her direction. But yeah. Well, granted, if I was Invisible Girl, now that you've got now you know there's certain quirks that can have that that can affect with can affect your quirk with light abilities, I would consider getting maybe some titty sort of special hero costume that can also go invisible, because you probably don't want to have another incident like what happened in the final war arc.
Kind of like with Sue, from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, like Sue from Fantastic Four, pretty much like that. Especially now you know that light-based quirks can affect your invisibility.
Yeah.
And you do it, see, but yeah. So other than that, we get the heads up from of course, Muta Fura, and I do like how she pretty much says, okay, this is what we're going to be doing with what you two second years and us third years are going to be doing for this year, of helping restoration projects, and also to prepare for also remember a new villain will rise from the ashes from this chaos, if you will, which let's see, which I do like how everyone pretty remembers how this is how All for One does. But I do like how everyone just reacts to him being called Era Sensei and just learning all kinds of things about Ayazawa Sensei about expelling people for like a fake death. But everyone respects him for that. But talks about how it seems like he must really like you lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if like the pretty class 2A students feel like the teacher really does care for them, if you will, or seems to really like them. But yeah. Other than that, I do like how the students are talking about like how they're going to be second years and how everything's busy. Uraka, of course, I do like how Uraka still seems to be becoming quite popular with her speech. She's still embarrassed, but I do also like how she's saying, "Hey, Midoriya, get your hair back," and that little joke about Tokiyami. I assume that you'll find that's funny, but yeah. But anyway, let's talk about this possible new villain. Do you think he's going to be? Do you think this is a sign of a spin-off incoming, or you think this is just? I don't know.
Not sure. I could go either way.
You think a second spin-off? Or is there? Because the Vigilante is one of the spin-offs. Is there actually even another spin-off?
I mean, there's if we count. Oh my god!
I was gonna say, is it like that Hero Missions or whatever?
The world, yeah, it's good. I don't think it'd be that.
No, not that. That was just an extra chapter. I thought there was like some other thing where they had like different Class 1A people teaming up, but maybe that's not like a full spin-off.
I got the perfect spin-off title: My Hero Life. Done. There.
My Hero Life.
Arguably saying My Hero Life is like let's see, pretty much everyone being adult heroes, but yeah. Space says there are multiple possibilities that it could happen because of this. As long as we don't get another The Last situation, I'm fine. Oh, we've got Space saying My Hero Team Up mission isn't canon.
Oh,
Is that the case?
No.
I thought you said it was canon, Lucky Chi.
Did I? I don't think it's ever said it was.
You don't remember? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I remember you talked about it kind of frequently.
I talked about Vigilante being canon. I think that's where you're gonna get mixed up.
Yeah, even though Vigilante isn't written by
Koei, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not written by the mangaka, but I think the story concept is from them. Oh, Space saying more from Space. Oops. My Hero Vigilante. My Hero Vigilante is canon. Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't really fully read to see the team up mission mangas. I mean, you probably need to stop doing that a bit more. But I think as long as I don't know if it is canon or not, but I think as long as whatever comes into that manga, it doesn't contradict like the main story. I think you can say at the very least it's canon until say otherwise.
I guess it's just Vigilantes and Team Mission are the only two spin-offs so far.
That's true, Space. I agree with you right there. 100%.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, pretty much because of the backstory for Aizawa, that is canon. Now, to heroes, let's see, team up missions. As far as I can tell, as long as there's nothing contradictory in it, it could be considered canon or not canon, depending on your preference. But yeah,
basically, Blue's in denial.
I don't believe you.
But yes, we've arguably got like a new big villain or a new villain rising that could cause everyone problems. But yeah, anyway, other than that, any thoughts on anything else, guys? Or
well, not about this, really.
We haven't talked about ratings yet. That's the only thing.
I'll tell you what.
We haven't talked about ratings yet.
Well, hold on. There's just one last bit here. The only other thing we got to talk about is the fact that let's see, the next bit of the chapter, end of the chapter, is a cliffhanger with Shelter and Aya and Endeavor dealing with the Derby situation, which I assume everyone thought that would be going to be what was talked about next in the manga. Oh, Space is saying the team up mission has a Bakugo and Miro meeting, which shouldn't happen until the final war.
That's true. He's right about that. Yeah, there is a chapter like that in there. Because I remember coming across it.
Yeah, I know. I've read that chapter, but as far as I can tell, I can't recall if there's anything that in like the My Hero Academia manga and the Team Up World Mission. Let's see, Team Up Mission one. I don't know if I can't recall if there's anything that's said in there being contradictory. It's like because I can't recall if because I don't know if it was stated in the final war, if that was just the first time those two met, or if that was the first time those two were just interacting with each other, or if that was just common interactions, like shut your trap over you, or like just what Bakugo normally is.
Yeah, I'd have to read through all this. There's like, wow, there's 40 chapters.
And I just need to read I just need to read both chapters and see if there's anything in between them that contradicts them. Because as far as I can tell, it could be possible that the world mission is team up mission is not canon due to that thing, but it could be possible that it is canon and that was their first meeting. It's just that in the final war thing, they never really made a big deal of that. Made a deal of their previous meeting and all that. I'm not sure. I have to wait and see on that bit.
We'll figure it out eventually.
One day.
So overall, how do you guys score this chapter?
Mangareader can go first.
Boy, thanks. I might go with Space's 8 out of 10, or 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10?
8 out of 10. Damn, we're taking so long for chapters that really don't have that much to really talk about. Jesus
I know, right?
But yeah, I'd do 8 out of 10. I don't think there's. I mean, again, it's just epilogue. I mean, we're just getting loose ends tied up.
Yeah. Like I was originally gonna go for good plus, but thinking more and more about it,
good plus.
Which that would have been
8.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
But I'll you know what? I'll round it up to a grade, which is an 8. So it works.
Okay, Lucky Chi is caving into pressure, people.
Not caving into pressure. I'm just being honest.
Okay, I'm basically saying I haven't seen.
At least I'm not in denial, like Blue Star is about team ups.
Okay, blah blah blah. Whether or not, let's see. I know. Let's see. We'll have to. We've got a new person called Jackie's Dragon.
Hey, yeah, it just says hello. Hey,
hello.
How's it going?
We're just reviewing My Hero Academia. We're just currently finishing off review of 225. Let's see, Anna. As far as terms of My Hero World Team Up missions, even though it's probably not mentioned in the main manga just yet, as long as there's nothing contradicting in it, I'd say generally you could consider it canon. I know, but if not, just enjoy reading the manga. But anyway, it's a canon or non-canon. As long as it's good storytelling, I think it's fine. But anyway, my score in this chapter, okay, I'll probably give it an 8 to 10 just because let's see. Well, it's just pretty much you got like the.
You were telling me about Katie.
Okay, fine. 8.5 out of 10, just to spite you, Lucky Chi. Happy? You pretty much you got C-class. The third year's graduate. Let's see, Ayama's World to Redemption. Let's see, Shinsho joining Class A, and this potential new villain. Though, and of course, Ritzy build up to like Shoto, Ritzy, and Endeavor, Ritzy visiting Derby. So anyway, with like 8 to 8.5 out of 10 scores, we now go on to chapter 426, titled "The Hellish Totoroku Family Final."
Finally, that's it. This is the last time we see these guys.
Last time on the Hellish Totoroki Family. Wait, what if it's like Dragon Ball Z?
Unless you get a cameo in the epilogue. But anyway.
Another cameo.
Anyway, we see Natsu and Fuyama saying we said you didn't have to come. Let's see, and we get Shoto's mother, Space saying 426. I love this chapter. Okay. And Shoto's mom saying, I would say the same to you two, but then Fuyama's goes like, but mum, or mom in the US translation. But yeah, like I'm British, I say mum. Anyway, Endeavor says all the same also goes for you, Ray. And but Shota says, right, we're not all here out of sense of duty, right? As you get the prison guard letting them in, and they're saying, and the guard saying he can speak, but only for a few minutes per day. As that Shota looks on, as the guy explains, it's a slow march towards death that Toyo Totoroku is now facing. As we see him being mechanically strapped to like a sort of like casket tomb thing, if you will, as we get all kinds of mechanics trying to desperately keep him alive for the bit as he's slowly dying, if you will. But we see Toya opening his eyes and then just talking about how the gang is all here. Ha ha! I ain't some damn tourist attraction. And he starts coughing up blood. Let's see, her mother just says his name, Toya. And Endeavor says, we are here to tell you about what comes next. And it's revealed that Endeavor is retiring from the hero work. Revealing that this is what he planned to do once the war was over. And let's see, now he can, but now he can't even stand up on his own. And saying that Endeavor, the hero, is dead and burned away, saying that your flames were fiercer than any that he's ever faced. Darby just goes, is that so? My condolences, perhaps maybe being a little bit sarcastic. And he's just going, would you all trying to play nice with him, calling them cowards, if you will. And at this point, you see his heart racing a bit. But Endeavor says, okay, you have a point, but saying, you know me too well, Toya. Saying, after all, he says that you've been keeping a close eye on him, after all. As this gets Toya to be quiet for a bit. Saying, you only ever wanted me to watch you, but he never did, commenting about remembering what happened. And saying, like, people can say what they like, but the fact that it's my hell flame burning inside you. As Endeavor goes on about how he watched the video of him being denounced by Darby every single day. So pretty much that confession video that Darby did, that pretty much turned everyone against Endeavor. He's been watching it every single day since it's come out. Thinking back to when Darby was about to shouting, Dad, watch me, in his flaming skull mode, if you will. As Endeavor says, from now on, he'll come here every single day just to talk with him. As we get a imagined panel of Darby before he was all burnt up, if you will. But see, Endeavor's words causes him to beep up. And Endeavor says he realizes it's too late, but he says well, at least let's just talk. And the guard says his heart rate is elevated. Any further strain could be dangerous. And Endeavor, I think, then tells Ray, Natsu, and Fuyama, saying let's talk using the time that Shoto made sure we have together. Let's see. He goes about telling Darby that even if you hate him, so be it. Just speak your mind and lay it on to me, then let me have it. And then you get Fuyama talking about saying how she wants to talk to him as well. And you just can hear the heart racing in the background. And then Ray saying there's so much she wants to say. And then he starts closing his eyes. And the guard says, okay, that's enough today, everyone. You can return tomorrow. And Shoto just wants to say to Darby one last thing, if that's okay. He says he has a question. he just ends up asking Toya, what's your favorite food? Continuing on what he ended up having with his conversation with Ida. Let's see, like so many chapters back ago. Toya remains silent from this, and everyone thinks like he's not gonna like talk anymore, as they think he's reached his limit, saying just to let him rest and come back another time. And Darby or Toya, if you will, ends up just saying sober, and he just turns around and Shoto looking maybe a little surprised, but then just says, same here. As you get Darby thinking, saying, running parallel but forever apart. Let's see, thinking about how whether or not they were always going to like mingle one way or another. And for the first time, it seems like we're seeing maybe Darby possibly crying, though it might be blood coming out besides tears. But yeah. So he just says one last thing, saying, no, granted, Shoto's already left as he's outside the building. As Darby just says, Shoto, I'm sorry, seemingly for the first time regretting all the actions he did towards his youngest brother. Anyway, we then cut to Natsu telling everyone that he's done, but saying nothing's going to change how he feels about Endeavor and doesn't want anything to do with him. Endeavor accepts that, and it's revealed that his girlfriend and I are getting hitched, saying he's not going to have a wedding though, and you would see he's never going to allow Endeavor to meet her. He apologizes for this, but he understands. And then Natsu asks Fuyami, you've quit your job? With her revealing that she did. But apparently the mother of one of the students said she found a new job that can provide support. So she's transferring from workplace. With Natsu saying that they've probably already taken responsibility for the punishments being done out. Let's see, and saying that's probably enough. But Endeavor says that he'll be making amends and apologizing for his sins for the rest of his life. Saying whether you're out around to see it or not, let's see, he'll shield you kids from the fiery fallout that's going to probably happen as a result of the whole family scandal to the best of his abilities. And that thinks that this is the reason why he's still alive, pretty much. Natsu says that sounds like hell, but Endeavor says, like, yeah, I've been that since I took him up on his offer to Tango. Let's see, but Natsu, even though he still doesn't forgive his father, thinks that, let's see, he at least had this one badass line, right, at the very least. So there we go, like that. His family asks Shoto if he's heading back to school. And then let's see, Natsu offers to hop him into the car, and as well as his sister. And then Shoto just asks his parents, saying that he'll be okay because he has his classmates being there for him, and he can become the man that he wants to be as a result of that. And Ray just goes like, even in the hell, thinking about probably what maybe Endeavor said or what, even though I guess maybe what's going on with Shoto, but then you've got like a bunch of like Endeavor's sidekicks saying, done already? How the hell did it go? But you got Flaming going like, I'm hungry. As Ray says, you've got people watching you, and you get like this sort of like text message saying, how's the reunion go? Let me know if you need anything. And it's revealed that Hawks, even though he's now lost his quirk, has now become the head of the Hero Association, I believe, right? And he's just talking to Lady Nugget, saying that he said that she's free to go, but you don't really want to walk out of here. And she's saying, not really yet. And thinking the world is still a scary place for her, and she imagines she get exploited again. You can't really have history repeating itself. But Hawk says that he was really hoping she helped with some stuff. But she then just goes like, that day, Midoriya demonstrated something to the world, but she's wondering how society will receive it and how things will change. she's not leaving until she sees how it all pans out, pretty much. And she's saying that another reason she's staying here is because, at the meantime, she gets to dine at the taxpayer's expense. And this is where
I mean, she's not wrong about that.
Well, true. I mean, you do have, let's see, you do have certain taxes paying for prisons because everyone wants to keep criminals in there. But you get Hawks talking about being a villain.
In a very sarcastic manner. Like,
yeah. And Lucky Chi, you're going to be happy because your boy Gentle is back with La Brava, and he's free to go.
Thank you.
So yeah, pretty much you got like the guerrilla police officer saying that his contributions to like the war's being acknowledged. So he lets him out, but he seems to be annoyed by this happy group. Let's see, this happy reunion between the couple, if you will.
With La Brava, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's touching. Given their dynamic, I think it's pretty touching.
Yeah, but they're pretty much just saying how they're both amazing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, what La Brava did in the war, again, even though it was like from the background, she still did pretty good with what she was given. Mm-hmm. Linking everyone together.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, you've got Hawks listening back to looking at Endeavor's text, saying that he's good, and let's see, saying that he'll help him if he asks. Let's see, with Hawks comment about how things have changed and he's taking it like a champ. Let's see, with Endeavor talking about how he's got a lot of plate on himself now, being the Space is saying this chapter that told me that Hirokoshi isn't holding any punches anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Definitely.
But yeah, let's see. Hawks is pretty much now the president of the Hero Association, or the HPSC, whatever you want to call it. And apparently, but even at such a young age, and then he's just pick up the phone and saying, "Hello, Mr. Mera." And do you know who that is, Lucky Chi?
Mr. Mera? Let me see. I'll look him up. He might be new.
Who?
Oh, I know who he's talking to. He's talking to Yokomiru. What was he in charge? He's in charge of the Hero Public Safety Commission.
Wait. Oh, let me just search this up.
He first showed up in the test.
Mr. Oh, you mean that? Let's see, sort of like depressing looking guy. Oh, that really tired guy. Is that the guy you're talking about?
That's him.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Oh, yeah. He was the only one that survived from like the previous massacre.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, since and the last bit of the chat ends with Spinner. Let's see, waking up, seemingly someone coming in, seemingly wounded from his last fight, and this ends the chapter. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to quickly do something quick. So overall, I would say for the meantime, you guys give your overall thoughts on this chapter.
Okay.
Ooh, we always do that.
For real. There's always somebody. I'll say this, keep my thoughts short. Out of this whole bunch of chapters, I'll say it's the best one.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Like, if I'm to keep it short, like, you get the quote-unquote finale of the Todoroki family with Dabi. What else you get? You get the whole little banter between the Gun and Hawks, which I thought was kind of amusing, but also holding some truth, too, on her end. And then the little cliffhanger tease with Spinner. And then, of course, I mean, let me think. The whole conversation that Shoto had with Dabi, I thought it was nice. I don't know if I can. Well, actually, here's a bigger question. Did it get you like super emotional? Just hearing that answer.
I mean, it works for you if it works for me.
Yeah. Because when this chapter came out, and I saw all the reactions. People were like people were telling me they're like, "Hey, get your tissues ready." I was like that's sad. It's like, yeah, that's sad. I'm like, okay, all my tissues, but I don't know if I can say I teared up, but it did hit in a certain way. I'll say that.
It's probably the best conclusion for Endeavor.
Yeah, definitely.
I see. Yeah. Anyway, Space says, I love this chapter. It was a bittersweet ending to the Todoroki plot lines, saying that it's an end chapter for him, which arguably, probably, maybe is, but yeah.
I know.
But arguably, yeah, this is arguably the most fitting conclusion you could have, probably to the Todoroki family. Like, let's see, as you have like the whole family getting together, coming to, but it's basically the beginning of Darby's deathbed, so it makes sense. I mean, there's no way he could survive all that again with like the wounds he endured from that last war thing. And
I'm more surprised he's still alive.
Yeah,
that's what surprised me too.
Yeah, I think the reason why he was still alive was mostly because that
just for this moment.
Yeah, just for this.
Yeah, he's kept alive just for this moment because it seemed like if there's something like this happened in real life, he'd probably be dead by now. But since My Hero Academia is a story, you kind of want that like family conclusion. Space here saying, I like that Hokoshi is killing Darby off instead of finding a way to heal him completely. I would have hated that. Yeah, I think if that ended up happening, I would have given this chapter a very negative review score, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah, I think overall for me, I think this will be like my first perfection chapter. Yeah, let's go with that.
So you're giving this one a 10 out of 10. Okay, but yeah.
And it's very rare for me to give those chapter ratings. Super rare.
I know. I've seen you giving quite a few 10 out of 10 chapter reviews during my time in the Stutzy reviewing these chapters. But yeah. Anyway, but I do like how let's see. You can the art style was just showing just how it just seems to be like a just have all these mechanical parts just being attached to him, making him look more like a corpse and all that. Like some sort of futuristic corpse, if you will. But yeah, I do think it was probably fitting that Endeavor was retired. Oh, hold on, we got another comment saying from someone called Mina Koto, just saying hi. Hello, Mina Koto. I hope you enjoy our stream.
Hello.
But yeah. Anyway, but I do like how but yeah, Endeavor's retiring. I think in some ways that was fitting. In many ways, because I think if like a scandal of like what happened with like Endeavor's family scandal, normally that would probably means that the person would have to like let's see, that would normally mean that the person would either have to force in retirement or get laid off by whatever like staff or workplace they get, because well, it's like no group or company really wants to deal with that kind of backlash and affecting their whatever organization they have, if you will. But given the situation that Endeavor's in a hero society where pretty much half the heroes are either dead or retired, let's see, and the villain's on the rise, you arguably needed the number one hero to at least still stand there. Now, granted, of course, even if he didn't want to retire, he's too badly wounded that he can only stay in this wheelchair now, and he's also lost an arm. So, either way, one way or another, well, regardless of how he planned it, the hero Endeavor is dead. And in some ways, I can't help but wonder if perhaps Darby might be at least happy on this news, or at least like, oh, now you've lost everything, but kind of thing like that. Anyway, Space says so. The 4 members of the league that are dead are Kurogiri, Tenko, Darby, and Twice. So far, yes, those are arguably probably the confirmed dead ones, I think. Also, from Space, or at least dying. Yeah, at the moment, Darby is of course dying.
Well, Shigaraki's dead,
Yeah.
which is Tenko, but still, yeah.
I mean,
Same person.
my mistake. I got Tenko and Toya mixed up.
Yeah. Toyo's on his deathbed, but yeah.
He's getting there.
Anyway,
He ain't gonna survive that. Unless there's the power of love.
well, no, we've seen what the power of love does in this manga, and it's not that.
It don't bring people back.
Wait,
Unless you're Deku.
Rebirth.
I love my quirk so much.
So yeah, let's see. But yeah, I do like how Endeavor says he'll try to talk to his son every single day, and it's interesting just how let's see, Darby just seems to react to that. But it's mostly just let's see, Shoto's this question that gives him to response, and apparently they do end up having a common food, and I do like that was brought up because that was just made such a big deal with like Ida and Shoto, so I do like that. So you're probably gonna get like a comment from Shoto telling Ida like, "Oh, my brother likes soba," and all that. But yeah, but I do kind of also like this fact that Darby seems to have some sort of regret with what turned out between him and his youngest brother, if you will.
Yeah.
See, Space says the power of love has been sad. Hello. But yeah. Sorry, go on. Mangareader, you're about to say something?
I just said love. That's it.
Oh yeah, sorry. But yeah. But anyway, other than that, I do like how Natsu is not is kept to his word about not forgiving Endeavor, and pretty much at this point wants to cut him out of his life for good. I do like how Endeavor just seems to accept this fact. It's like, I understand. You have every right to do so. Well, interestingly, Fuyama has quit a teaching job. I'm not sure whether or not it feels like someone associated with Endeavor would damage that kind of career, but she's at least got a job elsewhere. Ooh, Space says, I don't believe Dabby feels bad for killing innocent people, though. Who knows? Probably not. We're not really sure, but at the very least, he at least seems to care. Seems to at least have some care for his brother. And Space says, I love that Natsu didn't fully forgive Endeavor. Well, to be fair, I think his character's been pretty much built up to pretty much hate Endeavor and never really forgive him. But I think that's fine. And yeah, I respect Natsuro for that. So yeah. I think it's fine that, let's see, you do sometimes when you get like situations like with like Endeavor, you probably do have like 1 or 2 members of the family want to cut off all ties. So I hope his life with his girlfriend, soon to be wife, goes well. But I do like at the very least, even though Fuyami's got a new teaching job and Natsu's going to get married, if you will, or like that. Shoto, at the very least, is letting his parents know that he still has his classmates to keep an eye on him to make him a hero that they need to be. Now, interesting enough, I'm curious to see how the Endeavor agency will continue with like him retiring and who will take over. If I had to guess, it would be Flaming.
I could see being a temporary thing until Shoto's ready to take over. I think that's what it's going to end up too.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, yeah, it's possible that Shoto will eventually take over the place, but yeah. Ooh, and Space says, like I said, this is where I see that Hirokoshi is not holding any punches anymore. Fair enough.
Pretty much.
But yeah. Anyway, the only within that pick I could say is perhaps maybe one of the flaming sidekicks I thought was dead is still alive, but that's just it. Other than that, I do like how Hawks is now being in charge of like the Hero Association, if I recall, or whatever its organization is called. I suppose that's fitting for a character that's lost his quirk. Oh yeah, I meant not only any punches. Fair enough. I know. How do you feel about Hawks' final role in the world of My Hero Academia, like Ichi Mangareader?
I think it's very fitting.
Yeah, the one. Let's see, the son of a criminal joining like the heroes under sketchy circumstances is now the one that can probably rebuild and sort out the problems of that organization, at the very least. So there's going to be some changes there. But other than that, how do you feel about Lady Nugget staying in prison, guys?
I mean, I briefly talked about it already, but I mean, given what she's been through and like, you know, the experiences that she had to endure, I get her perspective of why she's choosing to stay in.
Yeah, I like that she's waiting to like let's see. I do like how she's waiting to see if Midoriya's changed the world for the better in a sense before coming out.
Yeah.
And Space is asking, does that mean that Izuku could work with Hawks when Izuku becomes an adult?
That's possible.
Yeah, I could possibly see. Yeah, and let's see whether or not it's going to be like an office job. Oh, so I got a private chat thing saying.
Mangareader's headphones died.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happened to me a couple times too. I've just had to alternate back and forth.
Ah, that's a shame. Hopefully you'll still be able to talk to us, or hopefully be able to sort something out. But yeah. But in the meantime, if you have something you want to say, just type in the text and we'll do a comment. And I'll read out the comment. So anyway, speaking of comments, going back to the we just got a little bit of manga.
That's my bad.
You're back.
I'm just doing it on the phone. Right now.
Fair enough.
Things charge.
Yeah.
Stupid batteries.
Fair enough. Anyway, Space is saying
Mangareader goofed just a minute ago.
Yeah, goofed.
Anyway, Space is saying it's understandable that Naga is waiting to see if Midoriya changes his society for the better or not. Which, yeah, I think it makes sense. Well, how about you, Margarita? How do you feel about Lady Naga's decision?
What, Lady Nugget staying in jail or whatnot?
Yeah.
I thought that was just kind of funny, more than anything.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna use the taxpayers' money to get free meals while I wait for society to come back into the fold.
I mean, look, if you get free food and you don't have to worry about cash,
you get free housing too.
Yeah, like take advantage of it.
But yeah, but this prison food must taste good if she's staying.
She wants to stay in there. Yeah.
I mean, look at Blood Prison. They had like high quality ramen, and I'm like, what the hell? I still don't get that one.
High quality ramen.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I do like that she's doing that. Other than that, you do of course get to see Gentle and the Brother coming out, but yeah. But to go more on like the question about does that mean Izuku could work with Hawks? It's very possible that you get some office work, maybe some gritty behind the scenes work as a hero, or maybe even get some support to doing like quirk gadgets, if you will, if Midoriya does end up being permanently quirkless. And Space is saying, I wonder what Nugget's image of a good hero society is. Well, if I had to guess, probably a bit more people like Midoriya.
Well, she was used as a mercenary, wasn't she, in her hero role?
Yeah.
Eventually, that's why she turned to a villain. Yeah. I think a good hero society would be one that just doesn't feel like it has to axe off its undesirables.
Yeah. Arguably, if they manage to deal with that, they might make the society a lot more better.
Although I'd argue in some cases some of the problems in the My Hero verse are just self-inflicted.
That is true in a sense, but yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I know Koei mentioned in like volume 32 that he did have an idea of doing like a short story focused on the Gon's upbringing. So that would be pretty cool if he wants to explore that.
You want another spin-off?
Like G is
The-
spin-off, spin-off,
well,
spin-off.
Hey! I'm just saying those are his words, not mine.
We need Noggin spin-off.
Hey, I'm not the one who said it. He's the one that
I know.
I do have these in mind. I'm like, okay, if you want to go for that, be my guest.
Space saying, wait, does Nagant even care about Izuku saving the villains? As far as I can tell, she's made no comments one way or the other about it.
I think she just wants society to not look down on crap. I have no idea, really.
But then, granted, given the fact that Midoriya saved her and she was a villain at the time when they first met, I wouldn't be surprised if she does. Other than that,
She's a rare case, though, because she was a hero at one point, too. She was a hero
there's
turned
that.
villain.
yeah.
A lot of villains in this series weren't heroes at one point. They were just always villains.
Yeah, the only, let's see, I think, exception that issue probably accept at the very least is Gentle and the Brother, because they also helped out Midoriya.
Although you can hardly... They were more like public nuisances than actual villains.
Yeah, they were. Okay, gag is not the term I want to use for those two, but
No.
they had gag like essence to them, actually speaking. But you know,
Well, it's another one of those things where weird quirks technically can't be considered heroic. And I guess I don't remember what it was entirely, but yeah, who's ever really heard of a good villain in the actual hyper literal sense of a good guy villain?
Well, you might get honorable villains, but that's generally usually it. We've got another comment from Space.
I mean, let's keep in mind the only reason why Gentle was doing what he was doing. Hey, let's get some recognition.
Right.
That's it.
As for the Noggin thing taking part of, villain society, whatnot, I mean, that might be true. Reading what Space wrote.
Anyway, let's see. Space says, I feel like Naga understands some of the villains like Toga and Tomura twice, thanks to society taking them apart and becoming a villain. Let's see, taking a part of them becoming a villain. Possibly, but yeah. At the very least, I'd say... sorry, I forgot what you said at the end there, Mangareader.
All I was saying is that I was essentially responding to what he was already saying.
Okay. But yeah. Let's see. Arguably, let's see. I think you'd probably at least have some villains that might be at least very much honorable, like Rajar Ghul when it comes to like Batman. But yeah, other than that, who knows?
I mean, Raish is just, good intentions paid with bad ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's flood half the world and cleanse it, bringing it back to its pristine.
Yeah.
Okay, Raish, let's kill billions just to save a couple million. Just like Thanos using the Infinity Gauntlet to wipe out half of all life in the universe.
Well, anyway, I do like how the gorillas is like, okay, you can leave now.
Yeah, just get out of here.
Other than that, I do like how Hawks is like, let's see, just continue to text Endeavor about like this kind of situation, and it's like, and he's just trying to ritzy determined to see if he can change things for the better. So, yeah, let's see. And he says, "I'm excited for you guys to talk about the next chapter." Fair enough, might as well do it. But yeah, And I do like how Spinner pretty much, let's see, we're in the hospital confirms that's going to be the case. So yeah, arguably overall score, this is like a 9 to 10 out of 10 chapter.
Well, if we're doing it, give me a break.
Yeah. Sorry, what?
I said if we're doing the next chapter, give me one quick minute for a break.
Sure, we can wait a minute.
Or you can start. I don't really care. I'll be around.
Etsy, we can wait a minute for the time being while you just do what you do. Let's see, Mangareader.
My score for the chapter is 8.5.
Okay. So yeah, arguably we had a fitting conclusion with the Todoroki family. Endeavor retiring. Let's see, Space has already given the score to the next chapter before I could finish before we even started. But yeah, Endeavor retiring. Labav, let's see, Gentle being pardoned. Nugget, let's see, staying in prison for the time being, but will come out when she feels like the world's better. And let's see, Hawks becoming the leader of the HPCE. I mean HPC. I mean HPSC.
Yeah.
There we go. So a lot of things that went well. The chapter, particularly like but let's see, Shoto's learned one question for his brother. So yeah, arguably 9 to 10 out of 10. Let's see, near perfect chapter, maybe a 9.5. But yeah. And a probably fitting conclusion to the Todoroki family drama.
Yeah,
Sorry, what, Lucky Chi? You say something? Oh, Lucky Chi, you there? Folks, we appear to have lost Lucky Chi, and Mangareader is currently on his break. Ooh, Space says, does that this chapter make you feel like My Hero Academia will have a bittersweet ending? Are you talking about the Todoroki family one? Or are you talking about chapter 427? Is it 426 or 427 you're referring to, Space?
I'm back.
Yes.
Why?
Okay, fair enough. To answer your question, Space, it's possible it will be a bittersweet ending. If it's going to be the case, if Midoriya loses his quirk, then yes, I think it will be a bittersweet ending.
We'll see how he continues being the hero, but we still have no idea how that's going.
Yeah. Anyway, the final chapter that we're reviewing tonight. Chapter 427. Who was Tomura Shigaraki? Really?
It was me.
Oh, you?
I knew it! That explains why you're destroying every part of my property. And you're joking, I don't live in the
What?
US.
You gonna go plus ultra on me or what?
Plus ultra 1,000,000%. Ooh, Space says, I feel like Izuku getting all for one back would feel cheap to him. Who knows? It's possible. We have to wait and see how it goes with that quirk.
It has both one for all and all for one, like combined as like one singular quirk. That's my theory.
Anyway, we cut to like people being Ricky on camera talking about how Shigaraki was terrifying and goodness he's dead. Is that you, Mangareader, or?
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Fine. So I was just checking that. Another group of people talking about how their friend got killed by Tomura Shigaraki. Apparently, these are students at the age of 21. The first one was like an office worker at age 35, thinking that calling him a vicious murder and thinking that her life has been totally messed up as a result. Also, one of them comments about how their house was destroyed. And then we get an elderly woman, from my understanding, from the way the spoilers described it, this woman was the same person that was in Shigaraki's back story of like that. Let's see, first seemed like she was going to help, but just ignored him and just said, "You know what? I'm sure Hiro will come and help you down the line." But of course, no Hiro did. So she seems to be completely unself-aware about, not self-aware that she did not. She ended up not helping like this dangerous villain. Let's see, which might have, let's see, put him down the right path, if you will. But she says, "I can't help but wonder if they could have stopped him sooner." So it's like one of those let's see, elderly people that does not want like extremists in like a never mind. Being fondly remembered, but yeah. And then we cut to this restaurant owner saying, "Look, everyone thought that the freak was a Tupac at first. Nobody expected him to turn into such a threat." As we get narration saying, "Through the hero restoration is moving along at a brisk rate pace, thanks to like the international heroes, but there are still places that cannot reach the parts of the nation, and even talking about how mountains of rubble are still being cleared, but it's just more and more showing the widespread damage that this situation has." As we see that Midoriya and Spinner are sitting face to face to each other as the narration goes on about how saying how their lives have been ruined by this League of Villains, and asking the question, who exactly was Tomura Shigaraki now that he's in part of this too special spot. But yeah. You get the mushroom head doctor, I believe. We're feeling that Spinner nearly became a full-on Nomu, but given the fact he was given so many quirks he could not handle. And going on about how, thanks to your great studies, they've made more in touch with the city of let me just reread this bit. Let's see. Thanks to the great strides they've made in Nomu technology, they were able to prevent him from going full on Nomu, if you will. So you got that bit. And this is where Spinner's saying it's pretty shameless of Midoriya to strut upon Hyotsuchi on his grief when he calls Midoriya a murderer for what he did to Shigaraki. With Midoriya saying he's no here to deny that, only that he's had a message that he needs to deliver from Tomura Shigaraki. Spinner at first doesn't seem to believe that it's like, oh yeah, the guy will get a kick about you doing this, while calling him a sick puppy, if you will. And Midoriya ends up thinking to what Shigaraki's saying is Spinner survives. Tell him this. Let's see, with Midoriya then starting to bring up that message and thinking back to when back when Mihito says, like, even to the bitter end, Tomura Shigaraki, you keep fighting to destroy. Let's see, talking about the previous encounter, but yeah. But Spinner ends up being shocked by Midoriya's words about saying, even to the bitter end, Tomura Shigaraki kept fighting to destroy. Him being a bit surprised that he would tell Midoriya that. And Midoriya says yes to you, Spinner. Let's see. And he's wondering, wait, is that like Toga, Dabi, and maybe Compress? Surely you've been told to talk to them. But Midoriya says, nope, only you. As this is where you start getting Spinner saying Shigaraki was my shining ray of hope. Saying with a smile, he would destroy everything and transform the Dekai into a gnarly crater. Saying he represented him in his voice. talking about the time when he was oppressed for who he was ready to give him life, and he was just some stinking heteromorph after all. But thinks about how he decided not to dwell on this crap, and that it's too painful to turn back now. So he turns into a sort of like hulking form, if you will, saying he gave a guy like him a dream to cling to, and that he has hopes for major changes, thinking it could happen. You get like the mushroom-headed doctor saying, "You don't have to put up with this from him. If you need to be, if need be, I can subdue." But Midoriya just puts his hand forward to the professor, saying, "Don't interfere." As Spinner becomes full-on giant, like Godzilla mode, if you will, grabbing Midoriya, saying how Tomura Shigaraki was his hero. And then you're getting more news people from like this time let's see, another guy just saying destroying the world just for the heck of it, saying that ain't a worthy cause, and that just a temper tantrum and a brutal sense, let's see, behind it. Spinner just goes on about how Shigaraki was a gamer, and then you've got, I think, two types of influencers going on about saying among the ongoing investigations to authorities were feeling that the man had quite the tragic past. With another saying, figure out the room causes matters to let's see, that the figuring out the root cause matters, sure, but that's saying not to forget what this. Hold on, what, Lucky Chi? Were you about to say something? Never. Oh, private chat. Hold on a second, people. Lucky Chi, I think, is saying something. Saying the fourth time his AirPods have gone out, and he's just laughing. So I take it that means you can't really speak right now.
I'd imagine that's what it meant.
Fair enough. And yeah, Lucky Rave is saying yeah. Okay, just put your comments in the thing if you want to say something about the chapter while I just continue.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, summarizing it. But yeah, you got two people arguing about whether or not it's bothers to like learn about his tragic past or not, or whether or not it'll cause people to become sympathetic. Spinner's just going on about how he was a shut-in video games guy, and that saying that despite all that, he says that learned that he was a friend of his. And he was also a fan of all his faves as well. Let's see, hold on, let me just rephrase that. This is like he's just talking pretty much about how him and Shigaraki like the same games pretty much. And then you get another person saying, it has to be said, and we've got to say it, our whole hearts, so allow me. This guy was a piece of crap. I figured he was going to try and say the S word, but due to like censorship in certain places, that probably wasn't going to happen. But let's see, Spinner goes on about how he was his very first friend, and he was talking about how Shigaraki wanted to be a hero to all the villains out there, and that the League had a special place in his heart, and that as he thinks, and I'm sure that he felt the same way about how you let's see, as you did him, which he says, which I think is that he wanted to let Spinner know what's the message he was carrying through. As you get Spinner remembering all the times that he was like a member of the League of Villains, thinking how he got caught up in the frenzy and stopped dwelling on the idea that we were past the point of no return, and get being slowly broken. Get Ritty. Hold on. Damn it! I lost my page.
Damn it, Blue.
Let's see that there was no past or no point no turn, saying that the last bit of Pound saying he's been too slow on the uptake, but as he thinks he's been over, if only he had taken one more step, then just maybe I could have saved my hit my hero and friend. Whoop. Oh, ignore that. And saying, and maybe in the next Tomura Shigaraki or All for One is out there waiting with the bated breath. We'll have to keep an eye on you for the next frat. As he goes about how, Brunch was going to keep, you got Brunch, you're going to keep fighting, right? Let's see, this is Spinner just asking Midoriya. Saying that how sooner or later everyone will forget about Tomura Shigaraki in the league and everyone smart and just smile. Well, just like they always do. And saying, let's see, he's going to write a book and one about talking about how Shigaraki was the symbol of fear and how he led the league to greatness before it was destroyed. And that, let's see, villains can be heroes, if you will. Spinner saying how the past never dies and he'll spin the tale of Tomura Shigaraki. But Midoriya just says, you know what, make it a comic book. But Spinner's just surprised with this, saying that it's done dirty work. And she just tells Spinner as he's starting to protest, saying that he won't ever forget Tomura Shigaraki, as he just ends up just sitting down and just saying that he has a message as well from Midoriya, saying that tell that octopus pal he's got to give them all his life back, if you will. Now, whether or not that's actually going to happen remains to be seen. But anyway, Yelena appears to be and Ditty All Might sitting in a train chair, asking how it go to Midoriya there, as you see the police, his police pal, also there, saying, did you pass on the message? Midoriya saying, yeah. And of course, Tetsu. I always forget the name. I always forget the name of this police guy. Ooh, lucky she's done some comments. I'll just post those for the time being. Let's see, saying it's taking a while on his back, saying he's got a battery on left on 10%. Saying, good log, change it, sir. Almost there. Blue, gotta speed up the pace. Ha ha ha. He's trying, I know. Okay, sorry, Lucky Chi. I'm just getting a little tired, so I'm just trying to speed it up. But anyway, All Might and his police friend saying that regarding the case about Chiyasaki or Overhaul, you pretty much got his old boss, Ritty back up and then talking about how he's in a sorry state. Overhaul's just shocked. Saying that you were surprised that he was come out of his coma, and he's talking about you're talking about what you did to him, but it says they made such great strides with modern day technology that he was able to come back, but he's no longer the gang's boss anymore. Let's see, you got Overhaul trying to beg for forgiveness, but he said he told Overhaul he said never to stray away from the path of humanity. And this is what you rounded up with. Talking about how he was always there trying to give him a hand and teach him, but even then he took down the wrong path. Let's see, and thinking he's guessing that Kumura never talked back to him about the whole thing, but he just get Overhaul just apologizing over and over. But he says it's a little too late to do that, saying Eri just has a lifetime of souls anyway, and that saying that he'll be going to forget all about you, but saying that he wants you to put her through, which he might be talking about. I'm not sure, but I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, basically the Mutzi former boss is saying that he's going to keep talking to him every day about what he did to Eri. Midoriya thanks like Detective Tsutsukachi, who now, let's see, I remember the name because it's written there, saying that it's saying that this is the better, saying no problem, and saying that's the better option with like to relieve Eri of like nightmares. But Midoriya saying, what can we do to make all ill stop for good? But Tsunaki is saying it's not going to stop, and that we could have asked Hawks to drum up an armies worth of heroes. Midoriya is a bit surprised by that, saying what kind of power does he actually wield, but saying wanting them to look sharp, front or low direction, saying this is the new first years of joining our lessons, so it can't all be doing a gloom for that, saying yeah, we'll barely see him going forward. There's so much contact between the grade levels of the Hero Cross. And the final chapter ends with, let's see, a bunch of fangirls from the new first year saying, Todoroki, oh my god, it's dynamite! As you get Bakugo and him running away, they're going like, we're such huge fans! You're so awesome! Let me take a selfie with you! Shoto's being like, what on earth? And Bakugo saying, expel them all right now. Well, you get the final panel of the chapter. Midoriya just being open wide mouth and shocked, and Mineta just looking jealous about the popularity that Bakugo and Shoto have, saying, these first years are intense, ending the chapter. So with that said, what are your overall thoughts on Mangareader? Aside from that delay in the summary.
I thought it, for an epilogue chapter, it's actually pretty good for if this is the last time we see Spinner. It wasn't necessarily a bad send-off.
Yeah, I mean, this character has pretty much been
kind of a joke.
Not taken seriously, and arguably sort of like the least popular member of the League of Villains, if I had to guess.
Most
Mostly because
likely.
he's been, for the longest period of time, felt like a empty personality, or at least just a stain wannabe at best.
A weeaboo.
I guess since he was like secluded in his house for so long.
Yeah. Shut in and a neat.
Until he like made friends with Tomura Shigaraki, so I do like we get an explanation that he nearly became a Nomu as a result of all those multiple quirks, but due to the last minute and the studying the on the Nomu before, they were able to prevent that. So
I'm shocked that they were able to figure that out in like months.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess they had enough Nomus to do research on. Or maybe,
that's crazy. It took months to figure that. Just mere months.
Well,
not like years, months.
Well, it also could be possible, I'd say, that once All For One's right hand was arrested, they were able to take a look at all his research files and then learn a lot more about his extensive research and quirks to use to help sort out the Nomu situation. Because, well, if anyone that know about Nomus, there's going to be that doctor that helped the League of Villains, if you will.
That'd be even less time, though, wouldn't it? Because this was like, what, 2 days, maybe a week after that type of raid?
I think
it wasn't that long, I'll admit that much.
I think it was at least a month maximum.
Yeah. So that's even more incredible.
I don't know, but that's the way it could
be. It don't matter. It's fantasy. It's just silly to me.
Okay. Let me explain it. What I was going to say. It could be that for all the Nomus they captured, they studied them, and then with the Dritzy, when they raided the base and they saw the doctor's notes, they probably got an idea of how they could try and reverse the effect or like cure someone. Speary says, I feel like the anime did Spinner so dirty by removing that Spinner was the narrator of My Villain Academia. Ah, yes, they cut that bit out, and then they included that as a flashback in this next season, which yeah, arguably probably not the best case scenario, and the anime really doesn't really help with the whole spinner popularity thing.
So I basically hinted at this because I wasn't sure as to what would ultimately have went down. But I mean, since we did end up getting to this chapter, it's just more proof that Deku's got to have at least something to be useful, because he can't just end. Because again, there's nothing really preventing another Tomura, Shigaraki, or another, outside of, not having the all for one quirk. But there's nothing stopping that from occurring again.
Yeah. Now, granted, whether or not we'll ever have a villain as dangerous as All for One, who knows? I mean, at the very least, we're probably not going to get any more quirk snatchers.
I mean, the possibility's always there. So,
I mean, that much is true. But you never know. Quirks are constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
So whether he gets
Thanks,
back,
by the way.
whether he
The
gets
animated
something,
spinner
I don't know what. But
Okay,
I don't know exactly what ending
guys, okay, one at a time. Mangareader, you first.
I didn't even know she was back. I can barely hear him.
She is too damn quiet. Let's see if he.
I know. That's the first time I've ever noticed that he was quiet.
No, I was just saying that I agreed with the space on the whole spinner thing. That's it.
With the anime. Okay, what were you gonna say, Mangareader?
I was just continuing my line of speech of just, there's got to be something going on. I don't, whether Deku gets his quirk back, whether Deku gets another quirk altogether, whether Deku just becomes some tech hero. I don't really care.
So, for least, you think this chapter has pretty much confirmed that Midoriya is going to still be a hero one way or another, pretty much?
Well, he's clearly still in the hero course, so yeah, something's keeping him around.
Something will.
Yeah, fair enough, but yeah. Anyway, things I liked about this chapter, I do like how you got people being asked interviews, but of course, many of them aren't really aware of who Tomura Shigaraki really is, but you pretty much get people thinking about how he's a terrifying villain, but also this one elderly lady that just didn't realize that, this is the boy that if I actually ended up not realizing that she actually ended up helping, let's see, not just saying maybe some hero pick him up, that might have actually saved Shigaraki from the fate he got, if you will. But I guess,
don't say.
But yeah, but other than that, but of course there are some people here that have some legitimate reasons to hate Tomura Shigaraki, particularly these girls that lost their homes, and one of them lost their best friend to his rampage.
Well, we knew there was civilian casualties.
Yeah, that one.
So yeah, we do got confirmation that there are civilian casualties in this manga. Sorry.
Interesting.
There. But anyway, I do like how Spinner's just being like, okay, why are you here to talk? Let's see, to me, Midoriya. You're here to gloat, but I do love how Midoriya just pretty much kept his promise to Shigaraki and just pretty much told him, saying, to the end, he kept trying to destroy him. So I do like that. But I do like how Spinner's going like, even though the whole world's against Shigaraki, he's still my best friend, and he still fought to the bitter end, and that even for a guy like me, and he's like, I do like how it's the like how he's like determined to make sure that Shigaraki is not forgotten in the books of history, if you will, despite whatever major incident occurs. So yeah, I do like how he's like how he wants to write a book. But I do like how Midoriya does the suggestion, you know what, maybe write a comic or draw a comic, if you will. A little tie-in reference to, like, of course, what is the fact that My Hero Academia is a comic book series, or Japan comic book series, if you will.
Why do you have the hiccups?
Yeah, I seem to be getting the hiccups. I'm going to try and get rid of them in a sec. Just give me a moment.
Gotta love the hiccups. Gotta love them.
I think his last comment was all for one, destroying any information on Shigaraki or whatever. Yeah, yep, that's what I thought. Yep. Don't worry, Space. I was paying attention.
Oh, folks, we appear to have lost Mangareader. Lucky Chi, you there? Hello? Well, folks, it seems I'm by myself. Well, folks, it seems like, yeah, I'm by myself. Lucky Chi, you there? No, Margarita. Hold on, let me just message Margarita. I'm going to try and do that on Discord. I just seen in the Discord where I sent to where you sort Space, where Oods are any only. Fair enough, but let's see. Anyway, I'm just going to just message Margarita. Are you there? What happened? Let's see. Nope. Margarita is just going to message him and message him on Skype because I have him on Skype. Margarita, you're back.
Yes, yes, I am.
Let's see.
That
It was tradition,
odd.
you know. My phone boots me sometimes.
Yeah,
And by that, I mean I clicked the wrong button.
Yeah. And Lucky Chi, you were also silent for a bit. Even though I asked for you to speak something, but yeah. Anyway, you were saying, Margarita?
About the whole all for one destroying information. That would have made sense, possibly.
Yeah. Look, to be honest, I do feel like let's see, All Might Midoriya know enough information to try and tell people a little bit about Tomura Shigaraki.
Yeah, if they really feel like it. Otherwise, I mean, you'll have Spinner telling a story at these villains or whatnot. But there was something I wanted. There's always that bit of irony when the villains call the heroes murderers.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's because like my dude, you lot are literally terrorists that killed millions of people.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Or like plan to kill millions of people. I mean, let's see, but yeah, do you not see the irony in that?
Yeah. Oh, it's okay when we do it, but you guys are the heroes. You're supposed to save us.
Mm-hmm.
So, granted, I do think it's just Spinner just being emotional that his best friend is dead, as we saw him going all hulking out when
Right.
Doria just kept end up just saying when Midoriya just gave him the message and he just like got upset that he wasn't able to destroy everything.
No, that's true.
I was just gonna say that I agree with Space on what he's saying.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, so I do think like so yeah, I think it's pretty much. I do like this conversation. Granted, I do wish Midoriya actually had more interactions with Spinner beforehand. Yeah.
Beforehand.
And the fact that his storyline was like with the Heteromorphs was probably more focused on, if the very least, if you're going to do Tentacoil and Anima, you probably should at least give them more bigger roles in the story. So yeah.
Yeah, that was always the weaker side of this whole My Hero thing. We never really. It kind of was just.
Lot on it. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, it really came in last second. It felt like, and then it was really just it wasn't really even flashbacks. A lot of times, it was just secondhand stories about, oh yeah, we used to be mistreated for being heteromorphs or whatever, and now everything's okay. Sort of.
Yeah. Now, granted, I do think now Now, as far as I can tell, he probably planned it back during the League of Vitsi, the Meta Liberation Army arc, but it seems like he didn't know how to build off from that.
Right. Well, you can't have 100% storytelling all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I suppose if there was one plot line that was probably going to be the one that was get the least focus and weakest one, it was probably the one with Spinner because
Spinner's backstory.
it's like it's either Toga, Darby, and Shigaraki ones were like the main focus of the series.
There were.
Well, those two were the first ones to show up to the League of Villains. I know Spinner showed up too, but Spinner's only quirk is being a lizard.
More or less.
Or iguana, whatever person. Yeah.
It's saying it's interesting to me that Tomura has that last message for only Spinner and none of the other members.
Good point.
Well, I suppose on one hand, I guess it could show the close bond they had, but it could also be possible that he already sensed that they were dying or about to die.
That would have been my thought process. I think if not Spinner, Compress is probably the least used character in the League of Villains, at least in terms of knowing anything about him.
The only thing we know is that he's the descendant of this once master thief, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did we even know what happened to Compress after?
He was arrested and in a jail cell.
Was he still in the jail cell? Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking with that ice dude in the prison.
Right.
Oh yeah. Fair enough, but yeah.
You're dying over there, Blue.
Arguably, I've probably talked a bit very long because besides this stream going on for nearly 3 hours, I also talked in another stream doing like the Acolyte earlier today.
Ooh.
But yeah. But anyway, but I'm nearly going to try and finish this off. But yeah. But yeah. I do. Let's see. Pretty much. I think we pretty much covered it. Midoriya and Spinner, their interactions. Wish there was more of it. We've got the public's reactions. Understandably, they all think he's a menace. But Spinner has like determined to at least read to write a book. But I do like Midoriya's comment about writing a comic, because in reference like the fact that this is a manga or Japanese comic about superheroes, and there's even like discussions of whether or not the man's British talking about Shigaraki's story would affect hero society, but to sympathize with him or not. But yeah,
how's he gonna write a comic? Are they gonna release him from jail eventually?
oh, I'm not entirely sure.
This was not well thought out. Now that I'm hearing it in someone else saying it.
Oh no, it's very possible that it's possible that Spinner might have had only like a certain number of his like sentence, but ooh. Let's see. So Tomura probably knew that the League would probably be dead, including Spinner, so he just asked Izuka to send a message. Okay, fair enough.
Maybe, I don't know. That one's questionable.
But if I had to guess, it's very possible that Spinner, has probably only got like a certain amount of jail sentence time, so it's like enough that he could come to still be alive. That he could write that a book when he gets out of prison, if you will.
Be considered a member of, yeah. I don't think Destro was ever like really a villain, though, was he?
Destro, the original Destro, started a revolutionary, remember?
Well, yeah.
Let's see, and he was considered one of the 3 great villains. So, yeah, it's possible that so we've got some like proof from beforehand that
people have written books.
Yeah, they can be published because it seems like somewhere around the world someone would publish those books.
They're giving me the ability to put pen to paper. I wonder if he actually wrote that book or if it was just his ideas that someone had jotted down and eventually.
Which storyline? Which
storyline? That would have been the paranormal storyline.
Oh, you mean with Koei or?
Well, the Destro book
Oh, okay.
for the Revolution. I was just saying that maybe everyone was just jotting down in his group his thoughts. I don't know if he actually wrote the book.
Yeah, I think let's see, Destro did write the book.
He did write it.
Yeah,
Maybe he wrote it before he took over. We don't know.
hold on. You know what? I'm actually going to search
You're
Destro's.
gonna actually look this up for some reason.
Yes, because you got me now questioning it.
Damn it!
Your fault, let's see, Margaret.
It's my fault.
Yeah, your fault.
I can't just accept that this is a book. They let you do shit in prison.
But yeah, Super Safe Spares, this explains why Spinner was the narrator in the Villain Academia. That was also part of his book. But yeah.
Spinner was the Deku of the League of Villains all along.
Hold on.
God, they should have interacted more often now that you mention it.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they interacted once before this.
I say, oh yeah. So during the years in which he was in prison, he wrote a biographical book exposing his ideas. After completing his writing, Chikara committed suicide unknown to the world, as he would produce a son. Rikia would be born from his son's lineage. Okay. So yeah, Destro read the book. So Destro wrote the book when he was in prison.
That's crazy that they let you do that shit and publish it, but whatever.
Yeah. Who knows?
What a society.
Yeah. But anyway, Space says, so does that mean that Izuku just took a part in Spinner's book and read it out loud, wherever he was telling his story to? Very possible. Very possible. But yeah, but at the very least, we got Spinner just like writing a book or comic, if you will.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Turns out none of this was actually real, and this is just all their figment of imagination. That would be terrible.
But one thing I do like about Spinner is that he does end up asking Midoriya that, let's see, give his regards to his octopus pal and to give life all he's got, if you will, because they did have that brief fight in the war, if you will.
Well, yeah. Penta, whatever.
Anyway, we can probably now cut to the bit with Overhaul and the boss. I will admit, I'm a bit surprised that he's alive, but then again, I just sometimes forget how somehow good the tech is in My Hero Academia world compared to most other manga series.
We just roll with these now, Blue. We just roll with these. If they're able to keep a freaking skeletal burnt corpse alive somehow for long enough.
Anyway, Space says, but yeah, all the League are getting bittersweet endings. I like that Hishikoshi is doing that instead of giving them a hopeful ending. Arguably, that's true. They were villains. They committed crimes. They're getting punished in some way.
They're the ones that chose to be villains.
Sorry, what were you saying, Mangareader?
I was saying they're the ones that chose to be villains. I know the society didn't give them much option, but they still chose to do it.
Fair enough, but yeah, I do like how the boss is just pretty much scolding Chizaki from straying down the path. Though, granted, he admits he was probably a bad teacher in some ways, but you just got overall just trying to just apologize, but saying that it's Ellie who deserves a lifetime of sorrows, but he seems to, at the very least, overall is just promising that is like boss is saying that he's going to make sure to check him in every day to make sure he regrets what he's done. With Space saying here, I kind of hope Hirokoshi also gives Toga, if she's alive, a bittersweet ending and doesn't give her a pass because of her age. Who knows? I think it's from what I can tell with like the Uraraka fight, she's transferred her blood into Uraraka. So, frankly, I think that seems to imply that she's dead now, and Uraraka is still alive. And Lucky Cheese just replied to like exactly. They sure walked their path. I'm assuming that he's talking about like what you said about the villains, Mangareader. I think Lucky Cheese currently unable to comment right now, but yeah. Now, granted, I am curious to see that now that the original, let's see, Overhaul's original Lucky Cheese villains to the end.
I took that from that, yeah.
But anyway, now that we see Overhaul's former boss is back, who is like the grandfather of Eri, it makes me wonder if that means that he's going to be taking custody of her from now on. She says, Hero Society needs to take tips. But yeah, I don't know. So we got that bit with like but yeah. But I do like how, of course, you also get like that bit with Midoriya talking to like the police guy about how but let's see. But I do like how Space has just done another comment saying, I feel like the grandpa wouldn't want to take care of Eri because he has a probably blames himself. That's probably fair. Lucky Chi has done a comment here saying, let's see, gotta start up giving villains reasons to be villains low.
That was me, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's you. And he's going like, sacrifices must be
He's
made.
for the greater good.
Okay, you're
Good or good, but
lucky. Anyway, well, I was like, oh yeah, I do like that last bit of conversation with Midoriya and the teacher and his and as well as the police guy about how let's see, talking about thanking him for like getting this meeting with Eri, this meeting with Overhaul, but he says and he just comments it might be better than just let's see, her dealing with let's see, having her deal with like Overhaul directly in person. But yeah. But pretty much Midoriya just ends up learning that, of course, nothing can stop all this like witty creation of new villains. But I do like a little joke about how unless let's see, Hawks could drum up an army's worth of heroes, which Midoriya, of course, takes seriously, and he says like, I'm just joking. But yeah. But other than that, the one thing I probably find interesting is that at the end of this chapter, you've got pretty much all the fangirls going for Bakugo and Shoto. I don't know. How do you feel about that, Mangareader?
I mean, it wouldn't be a chapter if it didn't end that way at this point.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it seems like every epilogue is going to get one
joke.
Point, yeah, and one joke about it. But yeah. Anyway, Lucky Chi's saying, all right, my AirPods are officially gone for the night. The case needs to be charged too. Okay, does that mean you're heading off, Lucky Chi?
Well, it definitely means he's not talking.
Okay, fair enough. Ooh, we've got another comment. Space saying, I have a feeling there wouldn't be any fangirls for Izuku. Well, okay. I will admit, it does kind of remind me of this ad bridge where you have all the girls talking about who would be good with relations, if you will. Where's that, Lucky Chi there? Or was that you?
What?
Oh, never mind. But yeah, this ad bridge where all the girls talking about who would be good, good for relations. They end up saying Todoroki because of daddy issues, and the other would say, "Oh, Bakugo because there's something about a man threatening to kill her that's hot, if you will. And then you had like everyone just laughing at Midoriya when he's doing like his kicks outside, saying, "Ah, you won't have relations." But at the same time, you have Uraka in that average. Granted, this is the one where she's a Christian, thinking about how Midoriya will. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to go into details here, but he has to try and make the excuse of like, "Oh, she's just praying."
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll send it to you later, Mangareader. And with that, like,
Yeah, she was making some comments.
yeah, just gonna have to comment for the stream. Rest of the stream. Oh, typos low. Okay, does that mean you're gonna join the chat on the outside? But yeah, but generally it had the similar idea of like what I was trying to say with like Space saying saying it's surprising that there aren't any others besides Toga and Ocho girls that like Izuku. We'll get
Life
to that.
of the main character.
But basically, this average sort of matches like what Space said here about any fangirls from Midoriya. But yeah.
That's the life of a main character.
Oh yeah, they're not popular with the majority of girls, but only like one or two certain ones.
Yep.
Well, granted, Asta seems to have the opposite effect, as it seems like all the major female characters seem to like him.
That's the sign of a harem.
Oh yeah, that would love to be fair. Let's see, his rival's also popular with a lot of girls, but he's just not into that. And this is another trait that falls in with like Bakugo and Shoto not really interested in these fangirls.
Right.
See, Space saying main characters either get fangirls or not, but yeah. But yeah, it's pretty much funny, and it's like, let's see, Shoto has no idea what's going on, but Bakugo just wants them all gone. But yeah.
So with only 3 chapters left, and this being the setup supposedly for the next chapter, curious what Koei has planned.
Now, granted, the fact that you've got a bunch of fangirls here getting all excited and there's none going after Midoriya means that I think next chapter is going to be the one that deals with the love subplot.
You think before the end of the actual series, or before you think the third from last chapter they're going to do that? You wishful thinker, you.
I mean, I think it's possible. I mean, the fact that
I guess it's going to be a school-related one, no matter what.
Yeah, it's going to be school-related, but I wouldn't be surprised if Uraka's romance is brought up.
That the fact that he said that, the fact that he always had her pushing it away definitely means that has to be a knot that gets tied somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's next chapter or maybe you read I don't think there's a spoiler, is there? I don't think it was on break, wasn't it?
I believe I believe
it was
on
next
break.
Week is when we get it.
Yeah. Pretty much in the middle of my holiday.
Oh, goody. So yeah, we don't even have a spoiler, so we don't actually know what the next chapter is.
Yeah,
I can't spoil it, guys.
No, otherwise I would have included it. Well, no, actually, it would.
You would have just edited it out.
Yeah. I mean, look at 424, last page, and you realize that they are showing what each chapter will focus on.
Right.
Oh yeah.
We actually, you know what? I'm surprised we have nothing to go by with that person walking out of the wreckage. We have had no hint of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
since then.
That's the only thing that was not hinted that's not we know about.
Right. So we have no idea who that person is still. And I don't think it is Moonfish, because I looked at it and Moonfish had basically shaved hair. That one had. That character had quite a full head of hair, unless it's a wig. But
The new villain Sadman will be the next All for One and Tomura. Yeah, I think we discussed. I think I discussed that earlier. Oh, and in
we
a
don't know.
sense, but yeah, fair enough.
We don't know.
But yeah.
Unless this is setting up for My Hero Part 2.
No, I'm pretty certain that it's just being wrapped up with the Mangareader.
You think how he's not going to keep the My Hero series going?
I think he probably will to an extent, but I think probably not to the ongoing situation that is currently, because I think of health issues that he's been having.
Well, that's what Bleach said.
I think at the very least, I think he's going to take a small break and then get back to doing a manga. Whether it's My Hero or something else, who knows?
I guess we'll see.
Space says, I wouldn't want My Hero to get a sequel.
Oh.
Who knows? Maybe at the very least, I think you probably get a couple of movies coming up every now and then, I guess.
Hey, Dragon Ball got a sequel, and then Dragon Ball after the Dragon Ball got a sequel.
Yeah, and Shaman King got a couple of sequels as well.
Did it?
Yeah, Shaman King Flower.
Oh. Why didn't I know that? I liked Shaman King.
To be fair, I think only the English volumes have just now started coming out.
Now?
Yeah, I saw one in my bookshop.
Well, how long ago was it in Japan?
I think a couple of years back.
Damn.
Yeah, I think there's been a few Shaman King spin-off mangas.
I'm not even talking about spin-offs. I'm just talking about like sequels.
Oh
But,
yes,
damn.
yes, spin-offs and sequels. I
Yeah.
think there's also a prequel on like that one X-Law dude. I think what's his name? Michael or something.
No.
One with the glasses. The one that was, I think, voiced by Seto Kaiba in the classic anime.
Oh, for Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe.
Okay. But no. But okay. You know the blonde dude, the one that was with Lysug and the Iron Maiden. I think he's got his own manga prequel.
Oh. Huh. I'm just going to consider Boruto a spin-off.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Yeah, spin-off sequel, something that should never happen. But anyway, Space is saying, so what are you guys' opinions on Tomura's death? In my opinion, I love it. I think it was fitting, and I think it was probably the most satisfying way to go with with what was gonna with the way it was gonna go out. I mean, I think Tomura having redemption would not have worked. So I think him dying and him still being what he was, then they're just telling Midoriya, to this very end, I tried to destroy the world. I do like how that has just been like the bit of the friendship with spin of this chapter and how he's reacting to his death and all that. So I do like that. But yeah, other than that, the only other thing I'd think to say about this chapter, it's saying Tomura's death reminds me of Darth Vader. In a sense, it's similar, but I think in a sense, Darth Vader became Anakin Skywalker again, but Tomura Shigaraki still remained Tomura Shigaraki. Instead of so it's like that's why you have Darth Vader saying, "You were right, Luke. You were right." Tell your sister you were right. But yeah, but Shigaraki's just like, tell Spinner I still to the very end I tried to destroy the world.
But he said it with a smile.
Oh yeah.
And that's all that counts.
But folks, we got Lucky Chi back at last.
Sort of.
Lucky
On a
Chi,
different server.
Or Lucky Rave, you have returned. I still gotta get used to calling you Lucky Rave. Lucky, you there? Hello.
In spirit. He might just be talking through comments still.
All right, let's see if he's put anything in the private chat.
He hasn't put anything yet.
Oh, no. Okay, so Space is asking, so opinions on the hate on Izuku for not saving Tomura? Well, to be fair, he did kind of, I think it's kind of ridiculous because, well, he did actually save Tomura. He managed to break him free from All For One's control, and he was at least himself at the very end. So at the very least, that is fine. So I think at the very least, I think those criticisms are a bit invalid because, well, he was saved, just not in the regular sense. And Lucky Chi saying, still won't be able to voice for the rest of the stream, but I'll still leave my thoughts through here. If you want, Lucky Chi, I have sent you the YouTube stream of the YouTube link stream of the stream, so you could also comment in the public bit there. Or if you want, try and comment in the public chat for the message bits there. So you could try that. As I think, oh, my phone had died. Okay, fair enough. But yeah. So anyway, Lucky Chi, we were just finishing talking up about Midoriya, see whether or not Midoriya and Uraraka are going to have their love confessions next chapter. What do you think?
I'm sure it'll take a little bit of time for that to actually get to him.
Let's see. Two things to charge up. Okay, he's just talking about his phone. Oh,
his phone and his AirPods.
Okay. People seem to think that Izuku lost a part of himself for losing All For One, which I don't agree with. Well, to be fair, quirks are considered to be a part of someone, though granted, arguably, One For All is rather unique in that aspect because it belonged to multiple people. So you could say, on one hand, it's a part. You could say it's a part that Midoriya recently gained, but then lost. But I think Midoriya will still be himself, regardless if he has One For All or not. But yeah. Anyway, Lucky Chi, I think, has just done his private cutsy saying, I get the weird feeling that it'll be the second to last chapter or the final chapter. But saying Koi could really surprise us by addressing it next chapter. We'll have to see. And yeah, and Margaret.
I'm just talking to him.
Other than that, the only other thing to talk about is the fact that Minetta's got those jealous eyes.
Not much to really say about Mineta. He's just Mineta.
Yeah, it's like going like, damn, why are they so popular? But to be fair, Minetta, it's the reason they are popular and you're not is because you're a pervert and one that creeps girls out.
I don't know if the new girls know that, but he doesn't have the good looks that the other two have.
Oh, yeah.
He's got grape hair. Grape hair! And yet his quirk's actually not that bad.
So, yeah, now that now we've pretty much covered everything, how would you guys overall score this chapter?
Oh, yeah. I think
Mangareader. Lucky she says he's got an unhealthy first obsession. Anyway, go on now.
Oh, Mineta. I think this will be the first 9 I've given it in a while. It's a compelling chapter.
Yeah, it's a 9 out of 10, as Space is saying there. And Lucky Chi is saying that, oh, Space, that is playing with fire. Okay, that's more of the reference to the comment that Space saying that it would be funny if Izuku ended up with a civilian instead of a Choco. I'd love seeing the fandom get destroyed. Oh, yeah, that would definitely cause some chaos just of all the...
Well, that would kill the entire fandom because half of it wants Bakugo and Deku. The other half wants Deku and Uraraka.
Yeah, But yeah, let's see. But yeah, let's see. Midoriya and Bakugo's not happening. You know he's not. It's not happening. That is too Yare for the series. It's not happening.
Even in the LGBTQ era, it still ain't happening.
Yeah. Let's see. Regardless of what happens, you're not going to see Bakugo and Midoriya get together. At best, you're going to see them being best friends. That's the best you get.
Yeah.
Oraka has been built up as the let's see as the main
All
pair.
been built up, yeah.
Let's see. Space says, I don't understand Bakugo x Izuku. I think that's just due to more to the fact that people like rival ships, like No, Sasu, Goku, Vegeta, stuff like that. Anyway, like she's saying, as for the chapter rating as a whole, well, he's doing the drum roll, saying amazing. So that's a 9 out of 10. So yeah, for me, I'd probably also give it like a 9.5 or 9 out of 10. Just seeing with the talk with Midoriya and Spinner, how he's visibly distraught, how he's distraught, like he's lost his best friend. But I do like how Midoriya is saying that he will never forget
Shigaraki.
but also you're getting Spinner asking him to send his regards to Tentacoil, so you got that. So yeah, arguably all the stuff good there, and also we get an idea that Spinner was nearly a Nomu, but was saved towards the end, and also seeing all the public's reactions, and also let's see, Overhaul being dealt the Swiss justice of being scolded by his former boss, and so I'm glad that was wrapped up, and oh yeah, all the fangirls just pinning for Bakugo and Shoto, and then leading to people saying, "Why don't you have any Midoriya?" I guess it's because he's just too plain looking for them. Space says, "I really don't," and saying that I can see sort of something like Naruto and Sasuke, but Bakugo and Tsukugo, I don't see. Fair enough, but to be fair, I think Bakugo and Tsukugo have the one advantage of not trying to actually properly kill each other compared to Naruto and Sasuke. Anyway, Lucky Chi's saying, Ochoko, Sakura, shame. Saying Isuko's fangirl will be the octopus. Hold on. Izuku's fangirls will be Ochoko and Melissa. Yeah. No, I think it's just going to be Ochoko, and then they're going to have that sort of love confession. So yeah. Anyway, Space I feel like the next chapter will focus on the Chaco, and then it'll be mostly also likely to focus on Toga too. Yeah, we might get a fate on Toga as well. Who knows? But yeah. Anyway, Lucky Chi, one last message saying I could see that Space. Anyway, with that being said, I think we've just pretty much covered everything that's needed to be said, Mangareader.
I think we kept doing some things at the same time too.
Yeah, I think that also due to the fact that
emphasize.
I think that might have been due to the fact I got a little tired at some point during the stream. Let's see, we also got Space's many comments, and some of us left and rejoined due to some technical issues. Anyway, Space saying, so are you going to wait for the last 3 chapters? Well, here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to wait for the next 2 chapters to do before doing another stream, and then we're going to have 3:30 by itself. And then we're going to
430.
Yeah, we're going to have that one by itself and discuss that chapter by itself without any distractions. With Lucky Rave saying, is this our longest manga tier stream? Arguably, for my channel at the very least. For yours, I'm not sure. But I do believe it's also because we've had guests, some viewers in the chat messaging us because I sent the link somewhere. Let's see. And as a result, we've got some comments. So, Space, thank you for your comments and probably arguably listening to the stream for the most way through. Even when it's just me summarizing, taking a bit too long, and I will admit to those summarizing. I'm letting myself getting tired. And it's like, all right, sub, thank you. And thank you, Lucky Chi, for joining. Sorry that your issues got you had some technical issues that you couldn't speak. And thank you, Mangareader. Let's see. And thank you, Margarita, for joining as always. And okay, Lucky Chi, ha ha ha, saying help this man gain 1,000 subs. Who knows? Maybe I will in the future, but for now, let's see. We'll just have to wait until next time for My Hero Academia. But for now, I'm Blue Star Saber.
Mangareader.
And Lucky Chi says I'm Lucky Rave. And with that, we are signing off. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening. Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra, guys.
With that, end the stream.